in Lincolnshire. You'll notice there's a different clock up there at the moment, which is kind of shining a bit in the light. So it's a little bit. It's called. I think it's called whiting out, where there's so much light, and that's white, and it's got a bit of glass on it as well. The other one I noted was again showing the wrong time just before I came on, and I've tried a new battery in it, and no luck. I took that one out and it stopped, of course. Put a new battery in it, and now it won't work at all. And I put that one back in, and it still won't work. So I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong with that. It's a few years old. These flip over clocks are actually quite expensive if you buy them new. And my friend, I've taken it in the other room now. My friend bought me that for a present. Might have been a birthday present or a Christmas present, one of the two. Quite about 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago now. And it suddenly started playing up. I'm sure it's just a new battery. The thing is with these batteries, I noticed if you tried it, sometimes if you try a different brand in the item, it doesn't work. Whether or not, I think I've got a feeling some of the connections are perhaps a little bit more raised up on the Duracell ones than they are on the others. Which means once you've used a Duracell one, you kind of push them out a bit. And then you drop another battery in and perhaps it's not connecting properly. So I don't know why that's not working. I hope I'll be able to get that going. Anyway, I do hope that the changing clock doesn't spoil your enjoyment of tonight's little show. So welcome along, gang. I was just watching... just before we came on today, I was just watching the latest Butler's Empire video. They're in Cyprus at the moment, my brother-in-law and sister. And Ben, who's my niece's husband, was in the pool. And they're talking about cooking and putting yoghurt on steak and leaving it there for 2 hours. Apparently, it's something they do there. And then the most ghastly thing ever, and I was shown these pieces of dead animal on a stick going round and round. Oh, it's just awful. How can you enjoy looking at something like that, eh? Knowing full well that this thing has been running around a few days ago, or if it's come from the freezer, anything up to 6 months ago. Huh? Freezer. Talking of freezer, my nephew had a stroke of luck the other day. The lady 3 caravans down. Obviously, I'm in a purpose-built television and radio super hub here, but next to me are some caravans. And the lady 2 doors down, she was driving past us the other day. She said, "Do you want some chicken?" And, of course, I don't want any chicken, but my nephew says, "Yeah, what you got?" And they'd been down to the chicken farm? No. Chicken factory, maybe. Somewhere, I don't know, chicken something or other. They'd been down there, and get this, 4 pieces of chicken in a little polystyrene thing wrapped with plastic, 25 pence. I blooming well kid you not. 25 pence. How do they do it for that? And they looked perfectly all right. They didn't look like they'd been... sometimes dodgy people come in pubs, don't they? And offer you, like, cheap meat or anything. Don't ever buy that, because that could have been sitting in someone's garage for hours. Yeah, watch out for that one, okay? But no, these had just come out of the cool machine thing, fridgy type thing. In this particular place, 25 pence for a pack of 4 breasts. That's not bad, is it? I mean, Katie Price don't give hers away for less than that, does she? Oh, stop it. You are awful. So that was a stroke of luck, wasn't it? Anyway, so they're cooking and doing all sorts of things. My sister's bringing a dog home. I don't think they can sort of... When I say bringing a dog home from Cyprus, I don't think by that she can sort of walk it onto the plane and have it sit on her lap or next to her on the floor. I think it has to come over separately. I'm not quite sure how it works. But she wants a Rottweiler. Little Rottweiler. She had a Rottweiler before, the most lovely dog. Bison, it was huge. Its head was like this, huge. It was so gentle. Such a lovely, well-tempered dog. And of course, it's the way you look after it, you see. If you treat your animals with kindness, maybe not cats, they just do their own thing. How many times have you had a cat on your lap and you're stroking it away? Purr, it's all nice. And all of a sudden, for no reason at all, it just attacks you. I don't think dogs do that, do they? They don't do that. And she's bringing one over from Cyprus. I think they've selected one. I'm not quite sure if everything's been signed, sealed, and delivered yet. The reason they're bringing one from there, I believe it's a rescue dog. Okay. I can't remember how old she said it was now. Oh, hang on a minute. There might be a picture. A minute. Did she send me a picture or a video? One moment, please. Let's have a look. Here we go. It's a picture. Oh, no, it's a video. Okay, I'll try and show it to you. Oh, here we go. Yep, that's working. Now, you'll have to excuse my sister's loud voice. She tends to get very, very excited by many things and start screaming and shouting. But here's this little doll. Look. Look, 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 look. There he is. Look, look. Look at that. Huh? So a new member of the Butler's family there. Wonderful. And actually, my niece is also getting a little dog. She's getting a little Alsatian. There we are. There's her one. We like pets, don't we? Eh? That's her one there. So that's all happening. So I'm sure they talk about it. I haven't seen the whole of the video yet. There's like Cyprus 1 and Cyprus 2. So that's on the Butler's Empire channel, okay? And they're talking about the holiday in Cyprus where they are at the moment. A very good evening to you. If you're new with the show, welcome along. We do raffle tickets a little bit later on. When I say to you, ask for your raffle tickets now, you'll have about 10 minutes to ask for your raffle tickets, and that is for this prize. We do a draw every Thursday. Okay, so Thursday night show in 2 nights' time, and that's the prize. One of our wonderful, sparkling, super weatherproof stickers. All right, that's what we got there. And we'll be giving out raffle tickets a little bit later on for that. It's fairly strict the way we do that because a lot of people used to abuse the system, so to speak. All right, so literally when I say ask for your raffle tickets now, ask for them by text message only, or if you're abroad, by email. The email must arrive to me within 10 minutes. If for any reason at all it's delayed, unlucky, I'm afraid, all right? Has to be the same rules for everyone, because the trouble is you'll bend the rules for one person, they will promise not to tell anyone, and then they go on a chat box, "Oh, actually, he did this for me," and then all hell breaks loose, all right? So I've learned that. You have taught me this over the months that over the years we've been doing this show, so you know you want one of those, and they are waterproof. I've got to say, I may have to stick some of these on my floor here in the caravan. Is that telling you anything? Oh, here we go again, dear. Yep, another area of the floor, very close to the area of the floor that my brother-in-law fixed, has now gone soggy. It's kind of the bit that goes in between the hall and the kitchen. And I've pulled... my nephew came round very kindly this afternoon. He's a good bloke. Anything that goes wrong, if he can get here, he'll be here. He's a wonderful boy, my nephew Gary. And I'm doing a little bit of babysitting for them tomorrow. And he pulled up, cut a bit of the lino under a cupboard because I haven't got a sharp knife. I'm actually considering now giving away all my tools because it's completely pointless me having them. Absolutely pointless me having tools. Before he came over, I attempted... Here we go. I attempted to remove a little piece of lino which is in the hall area, and guess what? It ripped. I mean, the rip is only this long, but it's been ripped, which he wouldn't have done. I know he wouldn't have done it. I'm just hopeless at anything DIY. I'm all right at plants and things like not DIY. Anyway, so he came round and cut a bit out, and sure enough, in this cupboard, it looks like it's had a really good soaking, right? It's not wet now. And the bit Martin fixed is not wet either and doesn't look like it's got wet. This is kind of moved. And I'm wondering if it was kind of like a sort of, like a spreading or a sponge effect where maybe, Gary says my brother-in-law managed to cut out all of it. I think he might have said at some point he left a little bit. And I wonder if it spreads out like a sponge. Or like, dare I say, and apologies to anyone who might have suffered from this or knows anyone, like a cancer. In that if you don't get it all, the rest of it can kind of spread in. You know, so another little minor piece of... Well, I say minor, it's not minor to me. It's a major task to me. Any sort of DIY, you know, is a major task to me. So I leave it to people who understand what they're doing. Anyway, Gary's... he's pulled, but he's taken off that bit of lino in the cupboard. He said, leave it, because obviously I'm away for a little while again, back home. Leave it for a few weeks, see if it dries out, and it may be that it's been like that for some time and has just can't dry out because the lino's on the top, and we'll just see what happens. All right, so ongoing maintenance here at our Lincolnshire television studio and radio. I'm sure the BBC has the same problems, you know. They spend more time telling their presenters and people like that what to say rather than fixing their studios. If you're new to the show, welcome along. If you're in a chat box trying to talk to me, I'm afraid I'm not in the chat box. That's for you to talk to each other. If you'd like to participate in the show tonight, give us an email if you want to, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or you can send a text on the text number. It's a local text, just a normal text number. It's not premium rate, so same as you texted a friend. If you're here in the UK, 07451 287 337, all right? 07451 287 337 is my text number. I'll read some of your texts right now. I can't remember if I said this to Maureen earlier, but obviously Maureen texts in when there's a raffle ticket going as well. Maureen actually pays for a text. I know most of you have probably got texts in with your sort of bundle of whatever mobile phone contract you got. One or two of you might have to pay for your texts. Can I suggest, only to save you money, you be pleased and do whatever you want. You know, if you want to send me 10 texts and it costs you 10 texts, that's fine. There's no problem with that. I'm just thinking of you. Might be better to wait for your text till I say raffle tickets, and then you get sort of 2 for the price of 1. Do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking of your pocket. But if money is no object, which I know for many of you is, most of our viewers on this show are filthy, stinking rich. I'm sure that's the case. Except for John Parrish. I don't think he's got any money at all. You know, he buys hard-to-let properties, borrows a bit of paint, looks in bins for old tins of paint. He's got multicoloured rooms as far as I can see, John Parrish, so that's how it works. All right, just thinking of you there. Good evening to Vera. Evening, Vera. Vera's got her own jingle now. Vera's got her own jingle on the radio show in the morning. I'm not there tomorrow morning, okay? I'm doing some babysitting. I say babysitting, they're 9 and 8. It's hardly babies, are they? Child sitting. I'm going to do some child sitting tomorrow morning at about 8:45 in the morning, so I won't be able to do the show tomorrow. It will be hosted by the excellent Carl Borrett. He usually follows me on Friday. That's at reachonair.com. reachonair.com. So Carl Borrett will be with you, entertaining you tomorrow morning. Good evening to Gary Ross. Evening, Gary. All right, Chris, looking forward to my fun and disaster. Well, I told you what the disaster is at the moment. We have another bit of a damp floor. In actual fact, right in the corner where the sort of door joins, door cupboard, right there, which is not somewhere, fortunately, that you would walk on. Right there, if you put your heel down, it does sink in quite far. One thing after another, isn't it? Good evening to Rachel Wheatland. Evening, Rachel. Hello to lovely Shania Steele. Good evening, Shania. Hope you're well in your family there. Evening to Diane Jebb. Evening to John Parrish. Looking very dapper tonight. Oh, I'm glad you like it, yes. It's just an old shirt. I keep meaning to change the jackets because I've got 2 or 3 here and the rest of them down at home. I keep meaning to take them home and change them, but you're not bothered anyway. Don't make a difference to you, does it really? What jackets or shirts I've got at all? He says, be watching Martin's latest video of them in Cyprus. What a lovely family they all are. You just seem to be the odd one. He says, jingle please, John and Sherry at Lindburn Park. Cost me a fortune, these texts. I'm glad they cost you a lot of money. About time you spent some of that money. Sitting with it in the bank all the time, frightened to spend a penny. Jeez. Dear me. I've actually got the... I don't think I can play you the jingle that she made. Would that be copy? It may well have copyright on it. However, I can play you the bit of audio as sung by my great niece Evie and my nephew's wife Stacey. So you can hear that if you want to. Do you want to hear that? Yeah, I think you probably do. You'll get an idea how it happens. So basically, I went round their house with this little thing. It's a little recording gadget which I've had for some years. It's brilliant, this. Really high quality, a little Yamaha recording thing. And I had the jingle, the music part of it, playing very quietly, okay, in the corner. They had they rehearsed it for about 5 or 10 minutes, okay. And when they were ready, I just pressed record, held this in front of their mouths, and picked up their singing. And we think we did it 4 times altogether before we got it like we think it should sound. And then so I come back here. I plug this into my computer, take the audio, like the singing bit off, and then I mix it with the music and I come up with a jingle. And it sounded really, I was really pleased this morning. If you listen to it, oh, it's not on tomorrow, is it? If you listen to it when I play it, or you can go back and listen to this morning's show if you want. And it happens after about 20 minutes of the show. So if you go to reachonair.com, right, and along the top it says schedule, okay? So hover on schedule and replay will drop down after it. Click on replay and you'll be presented with a whole list of dates. Choose today's date, the 20th, I think you've got to go forward with an arrow, 27th, Tuesday the 27th of July, 2021. And then down there you'll see Chris Reardon. Just go on there, listen again, click listen again. If you forward about 20 minutes, you can hear the finished. Do you know what? I think I might just play it. I think we might get away with that. I might get away with it. So this is what I went round and recorded. This is what we got. Okay, have a listen to this.
There is choice in the morning. Reach on it.
I'm aware that's not very loud. Do you want me to turn it up a little bit? Here we go. Let's try this again.
There is choice in the morning. Reach on it.
So you can hear the two voices there, yeah? That's Stacey, my nephew's wife, and Evie as well. And then I mix it together with the music. And we end up with this.
There is choice in the morning.
Yeah, baby.
Reach on it.
And if you listen carefully, right at the end there, my nephew's wife holds that last night. I think it makes it sound really good.
Reach on it.
Yeah? So that's what we did last night. And Vera's really pleased with her little jingle there, aren't you, Vera, my darling? Well done, my love. There we go. We thought about going into business now because those two can clearly sing and they've got jingle voices. You know, lots of people can sing, but some people have got soul voices, some people rock voices, some people I think they've got jingle voices. Some people like me, karaoke voices. You know, it's all right. It's all right. Most people have got sort of a karaoke voice of some sort, but I think their voices sound really good for doing something like that. You know, you don't really get, I don't think you get, do you get men singing jingles? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. There's like a certain sound there, isn't there? Good evening to Jason Hughes. Hello to Danny Davis, who's coming along to the, excuse me, karaoke on Friday night at Central Station. Good. I don't have a poster on here. I should have put my poster on here to advertise the karaoke. I put that on there for Thursday, actually. So good evening to you. He's cooking dinner. Steve is on his way home, his other half. Thank you very much. Maureen's there. Good evening, Maureen, who says, evening, Chris. Hi, Chris. EE charged me 15 pence per text. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Or 30 pence if my message is long. That's okay, as I enjoy taking part of the show. Okay, Maureen. Yeah, that's fine, my darling. Just thinking of your purse, my love, all right? Just think of your purse. Hello to Charlie Ray. Evening, Charlie. All right. How did the litter picking go last night, says Charlie. It went very well last night. I had with me little litter picking helpers. Litter picking helpers. I made a video. I made a very, very short video last night because in between... Now, unfortunately... in this particular video, it's not about me. Remember that it's not about me, so please do not have your eyes zooming into the T-shirt, which really is very, very unflattering. It shows you how much weight I have put on. Not that you'd notice that, Charlie. You wouldn't notice that. Kids don't notice that, right? It's only old people like your mum who... Poor Charlie's mum's got coronavirus at the moment, but how is she doing? She didn't seem to be too bad, actually. I think she's got quite mild symptoms, but nevertheless, still not a nice thing to have. I think sometimes, you know, with these tests and that, I think with certainly myself as well, when you get an illness, don't look it up. Don't, just go with it. And you know people die of COVID. Probably not, highly unlikely, but occasionally. And then you do this test, right? And then it says positive. Well, then you start worrying, don't you? Do you understand what I mean? I think you worry about these things, and to have a positive test for karaoke must have all sorts of things going through your mind, which can set things off, I believe, and make things actually worse than they are, because it's like anxiety. Anxiety. Now, anxiety can bring you almost the symptoms of a heart attack, a bit of a pain here, oh, I can't breathe. I mean, even this thing, unfortunately, I'm now in the habit of getting into bed, right? And I'm just drifting on, I haven't had my asthma thing. And there's been nothing wrong. I haven't been going, I haven't had my asthma. How is my breathing? Oh, it is a bit funny now. I will have some. Well, I probably didn't even need it. But the very fact that thought has entered into your mind has made your breathing bad. And that's why I'm not so much on... I understand they have to do testing and to get numbers and things like that. For people's mental health, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to actually have a test. Because you start... All the worst things come into your head. It's like when you go down to the doctor, you've got a headache. What's the first thing that goes through your head? Brain tumour. Isn't it? And yet it's highly unlikely that you've got something like that. Highly unlikely. It's probably the last thing on the doctor's mind. But you think, because you've seen other people get it, or you've read, or worse, you've looked on the Google. Worst thing you can do. Look at stuff on the Google. Charlie says his mum's getting better at the moment. Good. I'm glad she is, my darling, all right? Send her my best wishes, Charlie. I hope she's watching this. But make sure all your devices are tuned into this. I need the numbers, Charlie. I'm desperate here, mate. Desperate. We're lucky to have 3 people watching sometimes. All right, Charlie? And hello to Paige, your sister, as well. Evening to Mike in Brighton. Nice to see you, Mike. Have you got thunderstorms there at all? We've had nothing up here. We had a little bit of rain this morning at about 8 o'clock for approximately half a minute. That was it. No rain at all here. He says, good evening, Chris. Hope you're keeping well. If you continue sitting on children, I will have to report you to the RSPCC. They have to be sat on, believe me. Believe me. Do you know what great niece Evie said to me last night? Oh, you'll love this one. Right? So we're doing our litter picking. I'm going to show you a little video in a moment. Okay, of us as a train. Okay, so actually, no, I'll show you the video first. It's only about 10 seconds long. You ready? So we took a break from the litter picking and we formed a train. Choo choo. Don't take any notice of that t-shirt. Oh my God, look how fat I am now. What am I going to do, Mike? And it was great fun, thank you very much. So fat. You think I like looking... Before you send a sarky text, you think I like looking like that, so don't send it. Awful. Don't say it's the t-shirt. I know, you're fat. If I wasn't fat, you could wear anything, couldn't you? So when you say, oh, how can you talk about fat people like that? Because I am. Have another look. Look. Oh, my God, look at the scissor. So look at Harry at the front. Harry was the engine. We all took turns in being an engine. There he goes. And she's wicked with that bleeding thing behind her. That's Evie there. Look at her going. She's wicked with that litter picker thing. Look, she's got my litter picker thing there. Right? So we're walking along on this path, okay? And I said to Evie, I gave her a hug. And she said, oh, do that again. I like that. Okay. So I did it again. I said, you know, when you're 18 and you've got a boyfriend, I'm going to do that again in front of him. And she said, no, you won't. You'll be dead. That's what she said. No, you won't. You'll be dead. Well, she's 9 now. And so I'm thinking 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, I mean, I've only just finished worrying for like 10 years about some soothsayer once that said I was going to die when I was 57. I've just finished that one. I'm 58 and a half now. Now she said that. Now I've got another 8 years of bleeding worry, by which time I'll be 59. 66. 66. God, in 8 years' time I'll be 66. So I think I will still be here, Evie. And I'm going to remember what you said. And when you're with your boyfriend Don't worry, it's going to be much worse than that, my darling. I might, as well as hug you, lift you up in the air and kiss you on the cheek. Right in front of your boyfriend. In fact, I might even try and get off with your boyfriend, darling. There you are. That'll upset you, won't it? Can you just imagine that? If your boyfriend walks out with your uncle. I love it. You'll be dead. She said it twice. Later on when we got back to the house. I nearly shoved her in the bin with the litter. It's outrageous, really is. Evening to Sherry Parish. Evening, Sherry. Evening, Chris. Great to see you again. Laughing our heads off here. I hope so. That's what we do. Sometimes we get a little bit of a thought process going. Other times we have a little bit of a laugh. We're more important than the laugh than the thought process. Actually, talking of, we're talking about pets and things a moment ago, weren't we? Very sad, really. The lovely man who's opposite me, his name's, I think it's Rory. I always get his name slightly wrong. Rory, I think it is. And he has a lovely white terrier, little terrier. I don't think it's an actual terrier. Jack Russell. I think it's a Jack Russell type dog. Lovely thing it is. Oh, she's lovely. And she comes over whenever I'm at bark, 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 and she comes over and she stops just at my caravan sometimes. And I go towards her and I say, hello. And then she plays with me. She jumps on all, well, jumps back a bit, and jumps forward again. Or she was anyway. And often when I'm in the kitchen, if I got the door open, she'd walk up the stairs and then just come in. She'd just come in and there she is in the kitchen, wanting some attention. She's a lovely little dog. Lovely little dog. And but this time I haven't seen her really at all this week. Anyway, this morning I'd gone out to do some litter picking. And Rory was out there and the dog was on the grass. It's like that. And I thought, oh, well, it's a bit hot, I suppose. And but she didn't come over. She didn't come over. I said, all right, Rory. I said, what's going on? He said, I've got to go vets later. I said, oh, have you? Yeah, she's got a big lump on her. And she's, yeah, I feel it. And it's enormous. Sort of where her front leg joins her body there. Enormous lump on her. I said, and he said, she's having trouble breathing. We thought it was the hot weather. I mean, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, blimey, but one of my cats, Katie, it was my mum's cat that I took on when my mum died. I never forget finding her once. The silly cow had been laying in the sun, hadn't she? And it was really hot. She couldn't move. She was dribbling out, and I had to lift her up and bring her inside. Put some water next to her, poor cow. Actually, in hindsight, I should have got some, maybe put a flannel or a damp flannel or something on her. But that's hindsight, isn't it? One of those things. And, when he said that, I thought, maybe it's the hot weather. He said, no, but she's doing it at night as well. She's having trouble breathing. And I thought maybe the lump is pushing on her lungs. And we talked about it. And he says, I'm going to take her in. If the doctor has said he might be able to remove the lump, but one of her front legs would have to come off as well. It's that big. I said, well, what time's your appointment? He said 12. I said, do you want me to come with you? And he said, no, that's all right. So anyway, I went and done my litter pick. I come back here. About 12:15. I was out for about 2 hours today. And his car had gone, so I guessed he was down there. Anyway, his car's back over there, but I don't see any sign of his little dog, which is sad, isn't it? I know one or two of you have had pets and things like that, and it's just heartbreaking when you have to... just one of the saddest things in the world, having a pet in a carrier in your car and knowing what you've got to do. But then again, maybe the pets are at an advantage, that they don't have to suffer like we do. You see some of these poor old souls in hospitals and the way they're suffering and they're kept alive on beep, 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 machines going off all over the place and you can't turn them off. Although I get a feeling a doctor can help, if you ask quietly. I'm sure a doctor can help you on your way if it's that bad. I always remember my dad saying to me, he was having a lot of trouble with his... I think some sort of stomach or bowel issue, I remember. And I remember him sitting in the bathroom And so, no, I've had enough of this now. I've had enough of this, you know. At which point I think you want to go. But, you know, the only other thing is sometimes you may think it's that bad and in 2 weeks later you're completely cured and you get up and walk off again. So it's, do you know what I mean? You don't really want to make the mistake if it's too early, do you? You know? But yeah, I think the little dog's gone. It's very, very sad, very sad. Hello to Leslie Ross. Hello, Leslie. Evening. Hello to Leslie Ross. Good evening to you. Andy's there, who says, you look smart. Who's the lucky man then? There's no one here for me. No one here for me. Sad, isn't it? Don't think there ever will be, really. Never mind. Can't have everything. Can't be an international star, you know, and have family as well. You know, another half. Can't do all these things. If there was another half, I don't suppose I'd be allowed to be in here. You know. Would I? One of my friends, Johnny Key, his name is. He's a lovely man. He's a friend of Ray Reynolds. You know, they play the ukulele. You might have seen them at the karaoke. Actually, about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. Where's that gone? Where's that gone? That last year and a half, 2 years. And I remember when I first met him, he said, yeah, I finished we split up with my wife years ago. And I said to him, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He said, well, don't be. I said, oh, really? He said, no. He said, when I was with her, I wasn't allowed to come out and play my ukulele. And this would be my ukulele, you see. This is my hobby type thing. So there are swings and roundabouts. Thank you, Andy. Charlie Ray says, Mum's watching. Hello, Mum. All right, Kelly. Get well soon, darling. Stop sneezing. Achoo. Achoo. Have you got lots of tissues, Andy, my love? All right. There's Mark Bowles. Evening to Mark Bowles. Let's have a picture of Mark Bowles up there. We always like to flash. We always like a flash of Mark Bowles up there. There he is. That's, I think, my favourite ever picture of Mark Bowles. There he is. Still trying to pluck up the courage to tell his old bag of a girlfriend that he's leaving her for me. He's going to be moving in with his son. I'm going to have to upgrade the caravan to 3 bedrooms, I think. One for me and him, one for his boy, and one for my studio. There you go. I've preempted this, and I've kind of made a list of things that I need, to keep the little boy entertained, like Sony PlayStation, Wii thing, and things like that. Let me know if there's anything else on the list at all, Mark. We want him to be comfortable and happy. There we are. Vera's there. Hello, Vera. You've got ink on your hand. Yeah, I just noticed that. I don't know where that's come from. Oh, yes, I do. I do know where that's come from. Because stupid me, how many people do this? Right? You've got a battery stuck in somewhere, i.e. the clock. Right? And then instead of going and getting like a screwdriver to ease it out, you use the end of a pen and it breaks. How many of those have I broken in my life? How many times you still put that? Oh, it's broken. How many times have you done that, eh? Evening to George Bond, who says, join the club. I'm fat as well. Thank you, George. Gary Ross, how's Gary the cat? Well, he's all right. He goes up to my front door every day looking for me. And, of course, I'm not there. He keeps an eye on there. Don't you worry about that, my love. Yes, he watches that house. I saw him in action the other night. Yep. Another cat approached my house. He went mad. This cat went mad. A cat ran after this cat. You don't let any cats near my house anymore. Oh, there's Ray Reynolds. Good evening to you, Ray. We're just talking about you there. Hello to you, Ray. Danny says that your backdrop makes you look like you're in Narnia. I wish I could do magic tricks. Magic tricks would be good, like on Merlin, which I'm watching at the moment on Netflix. Talking of stuff to watch on the telly, I discovered this. I've been watching the French detective, Julien Baptiste. He's got series 2. I've watched the first 2 of them at the moment. They're really good. Baptiste, it's fantastic. Julien Baptiste, the series 1. If you haven't seen series 1, watch that first. That's just as good. Series 2 is on the iPlayer now. I've started watching this, but when I logged on to watch it, another suggestion came up, and I didn't know it was on there. Want to know what it is? Let me show you a little picture that I prepared earlier on for your entertainment. There you go. Sorry, gang, it's not quite a high-definition picture there. It's Wurzel Gummidge. Wurzel Gummidge. And before you start all moaning, oh, but it's not the proper Wurzel. Of course it's not. He's dead. He's dead. It can't be the proper Wurzel. Anyway, there are 3 of these on the BBC iPlayer. You got children, or you just want to watch it on your own, proper family stuff. I'm just wondering, for a very small child, whether or not it might be a bit scary. I don't know. Don't know. But that, at the moment, is on the BBC iPlayer. I've seen the first one, and Wurzel meets these two. These two children have come from a city. It's quite good. And they've been sent there for a little holiday, and the boy comes in and says, "Can I have the Wi-Fi code?" And the lady says, "You the what?" "The Wi-Fi code." She said, "Why what?" And he said, "No, it doesn't matter." And it's a bit old fashioned, that the house that they live in, because of course they've come from a city, maybe London, I don't know, where, somewhere like that. And it's really good. And they meet up with Wurzel eventually, who is just a scarecrow, but then it starts talking and they're very surprised by all this. And the first episode is about the fact that the seasons have got stuck. The seasons have got stuck. Right, so they're kind of stuck in summer and it's not moving on and nothing's happening. And they have to find a key. And that's all I'll tell you for now. Okay, I don't want to spoil the story. It's really, really good. I don't know if you knew that was on the iPlayer or not, but it is. Just type in Wurzel Gummidge, and there's 3 of those. Quite long as well. They're not half an hour. They're like an hour long. I think it was about was it an hour or an hour and a half? Oh, I think it was about an hour long. Wurzel Gummidge now available on the BBC iPlayer. Okay, Mike in Brighton says, last night at around 4 o'clock, on the subject of the lightning, I don't know if you've had lightning or thunderstorms where you are, last night around 4 o'clock, there was a wonderful lightning storm for around 40 minutes. It definitely cleared the muggy, sticky air. Seagulls went ballistic. Oh, they're horrible things, aren't they, those seagulls? They're great big fat... Oh, I could be a seagull now. I'm fat enough to be a seagull, aren't I? How on earth do they fly with all that weight? That's what I want to know. Oh, they're horrible. Great big beaks. Have your eyes out. They will, mate. Not like the ravens. The ravens on Wurzel Gummidge are quite good. There's a scene in it. I can tell you this without it ruining the story. There's a scene in it where Wurzel goes into this field and all these ravens are on the floor, but they don't fly off. So I don't know how they've obviously some sort of television trickery there, because you know if you go near a bird or a load of birds, and I don't mean on Love Island. Oh Christ, no. Not if you go near a load of birds, normally they just fly off. Well, these birds just sit there and like flap their wings at him. It's very, very clever how they've done that. And I discover it's not a flock of ravens. What's it called? Do you know what it's called? It's not a flock of ravens. It's not a flock. What's it called? Yeah. What's a load of ravens called? It's not a flock. See if you know that one. Tell us 07451287337. It's not a flock. Don't look it up. Oh, I'm going to look it up now so that I look clever. No, if you know, just text it. What do you think it is? It's not a flock of raisins. It's something else. I'll tell you in a minute. And all these ravens, beautiful creatures, lovely things. He's in the field and they don't fly away. That he's kind of talking to them. He does a deal with them, you know. No, it's not a herd of raisins, Charlie. Not a herd of raisins. Not a herd. Mike says, I'm back on days, so it's lovely being here watching you tonight. Thank you very much, Mike. He says, you're looking great tonight. Your background is looking amazing. Yeah, that's a new one there. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. It's nice, isn't it? Nice, isn't it? Thank you, Mark. If only you could read some of these messages that come through on Mark. Vera says, is it a gang of ravens? No, not a gang of ravens. And by the way, I got the answer to this on the Wurzel Gummidge. I didn't know. You'd be very surprised what the word is that is used to describe a load of ravens. I said it again, raisins. Ravens together. Ravens. Ow, 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 ow. Like that they are. Beautiful creatures. Anyone know what it is? Don't look it up. See if you know. Danny Davis says the wheel is out over the Olympic period with Michael McIntyre. We are addicted to Sexy Beasts on Netflix. I'm not one to watch Sexy Beasts. I've not really seen that. Rachel's going to moan now. I really don't like the new Wurzel character. I understand that. He looks like an octopus man on the Pirates of the Caribbean. Shall we have a look? Pirates of the Caribbean. Aye, aye, my Jim lad. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter who they put and what makeup they use for Wurzel, it's never going to be John Pertwee, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's just that we're used to John Pertwee being the sort of the Wurzel Gummidge, isn't it? There. Mandy says, here we go. Mandy, she probably got it right. That's correct, Mandy. Correct. Mandy Davenport says a flock of raisins is called a murder. Because, was it raven? I said it again, didn't I? Raisins. Why do I keep saying raisins? Ravens. A flock of ravens is called a murder of ravens. Why does that keep getting confused, that word in my mind? Strange, isn't it? Was it ravens on that old Alfred Hitchcock film, The Birds? Or was that seagulls? Or pigeons? No, it wasn't pigeons. I think that was it ravens? It was either ravens or seagulls on that. Thanks so much, Mandy. Charlie Ray says murder. That's right, it is murder. Thank you very much. Rachel says, is it a conspiracy of ravens? A group of crows is a murder. Oh, what an idiot. It's crows, isn't it? It's not even ravens, it's crows. Are ravens crows? Or are they different? Oh, I don't know, dear. Maybe that's why I got unclassified for biology. Well, it's crows. It's not ravens at all, is it? It's crows. What an idiot. What an idiot. Mike says a flock of raisins is called a fruitcake. I love the saucer of milk comment there, someone. Meow. I don't think he's ever seen one. Honestly, I don't think he's ever seen one, Mark. I really don't. Oh, what an idiot. It's crows. It's not ravens at all. But they look like crows, don't they? What's the difference? Has one got a yellow beak and one's got a black beak? I like the ones with the black, jet black. Beautiful creatures. Beautiful creatures. It was either a crow or a raven near my house a couple of years ago. It had escaped from somewhere. Oh, it was not loud. And it became a bit of a celebrity. It was quite near my house. You could hear it. All the houses could hear this crow. And people would go and leave it food. Seriously. They had a drop catching it. Well, it didn't want to be caught. People were literally bringing it food and leaving it under the tree. It didn't half make a noise. Great big thing. It was beautiful bird. Beautiful bird. Thank you, Vera. The birds. What? It's a gang of raisins, is it? Oh, I don't know. Ravens. Oh, I don't know. Can we move on from this damn subject of ravens and crows? Because I've got very confused. Just watch Wurzel Gummidge and shut your mouths, will you? For God's sake, blimey. Say the word funeral, please. There you are. Funeral. Funeral. Is that all right? What's wrong with you all tonight? Text out. Have we got any emails yet? Let's have a look. No emails this morning. That's okay. That's okay. No worries. If you want to send an email, you can do that as well. Because if you're abroad, you never know. One or two people are abroad and watch the show. Your texts don't come in, and I don't know why that is. 07451287337 or email in chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Vera says one's bigger than the other. Oh, sorry. Can you notice that from there then, darling? I wouldn't. Oh, you meant the birds. I beg your pardon, my love. I thought you were being personal. Should we do the snowflake? Oh, I'm really offended by that. Oh, you've pointed out my disability, that one on my breast is bigger than the other. I'm really offended. Evening to Paul in Sparky. Hello, who's live and chilling out tonight. Thank you. If you're on Reach on Air later, my mate Ross Patzel's on there. Oh, she's got a new poster, dear. She's been very busy. 15 minutes time she's on. Right, here we are. Here, look. Here, there he is. He's got a new poster. He hasn't got his little picture on it. I think, to be honest, his face has got so fat it won't fit on the picture. There you go. He's got. I had to show you that. His brand new poster. The Ross Patzout Radio Show. Tuesday 9 till 10. 9 till 11, okay? So he'll be on after me. So, well, I say after me. It'd be he and me are on at the same time for an hour. Okay. One's bigger than the other. Or was that black? Oh, have we got blackbirds as well? Aren't blackbirds ravens? So is it like three different races, types? What would you say? Race? No, not race. Three different. Is that racist saying they all look the same? The blackbirds, the ravens, and the crows. Is that a bit racist? I'm offended. I'm sure one's got a yellow beak and one's got the ones with the black. It's just the whole thing is jet black. beautiful creatures. But can we please move on from crows? Dear me. Blimey. I wish you would. I wish you would, Mark. I'm waiting, dear. Thank you very much. Right, onward. Let's move on to something else, shall we, my darlings? What have we got on our little menu of things to do? This bloke, what about this bloke here? Kissed 7 blokes in one night. It's in the Sun, you might have seen this one. A reveller has revealed he caught COVID, which serves him bleeding right then, doesn't it? Imagine going around and kissing 7 people during this pandemic. I mean, you've got to select the one person, haven't you? And make sure. I'd ask for a test first, but can I see your test before I snog you? Thank you very much. A reveller has revealed he caught COVID after kissing 7 blokes in a nightclub and has no regrets. No, novia, la, 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 la. Dirty git. Or lucky bastard, depending on what way you look at it. Jack, who's 25, was among hundreds of boozy revellers who were eager to attend Heaven Nightclub's grand reopening at midnight on Monday. Now, I used to DJ there. It's quite a long time ago. It's about 12 years old. 12 years ago now that I used to DJ there. It was all right. Yeah, I used to do Wednesday nights, 10:30 till 2 a.m. I think I used to do the pop music, you know. Kylie Minogue, Beyonce. What's that other one now? It's got lots of drums in it. Christine Aguilera, that sort of thing. And the three black girls? Pay your bills. Destiny's Child. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff I used to do up there. Wonderful. Oh, it's a great night. Great night. I used to work in Heaven. Anyway, this bloke is on TikTok. He said the 25-year-old admitted kissing 7 guys on the dance floor and said he tested positive for COVID-19 the next day after taking a lateral flow test. Well, it serves you right then. Surprise, surprise. But I mean, 7? I used to go out to a club called Trade. You know, at Turnmas. 7? Was it a quiet night then? The gays are terrible. We don't care. We don't. It's really terrible, honestly. None of this getting off with one person in a night. No, it goes on forever, whole night. 7? Amateur. Perhaps he didn't want to kiss too many in case he caught COVID. Unlucky you got the wrong one, mate. It says the TikToker of London shared a short clip with his 23,000 followers. 23,000, eh? Well, I can only dream of such numbers. I think we went up 2 this week. We got 2 new subscribers. Surprise. 2 whole new subscribers. Well, no, that's a lie. We had 3 new subscribers this week, but one's gone already. Oh, stop it. He says, yeah, we went to Heaven on Sunday and effing got COVID, he said. Do I regret kissing 7 guys that night? Absolutely not. He says, it was such a great night and we've got to live our lives now. Well, you're obviously making up for lost time. You know, I'd try a bit harder if I were you, mate. 7 is just pathetic if you're a gay boy. Pathetic number. He says, boozy reveller. I'll be lucky to have one now. Well, when was the last one? What year are we in now? Boozy revellers were thrilled to celebrate Freedom Night at nightclubs at midnight on Monday. Just gone, of course, with many queuing for hours outside clubs waiting for the party to start. So unlucky. 7 is a bit unlucky, isn't it? Go on, be honest. Danny Davis knows what I mean by that. Danny says your shirt clashes with the flamingo. I mean, how can you even notice that, for God's sake? Yeah, you're doing the old thing, aren't you, Danny? You know, not listening to the content, just looking for little errors that you can find and point out. Be careful. People have been blocked for that before. Blocked. Many times. Oh, by the way, Gary Ross. I meant to say, we were talking about this whole tea break thing. Do you remember about a year or so ago, we used to do tea breaks where you could send a super chat for £1 and you could put someone on a tea break for 5 minutes. So once you sent a pound, I click a button, and then whoever you have selected to have the tea break then cannot comment in the comments box for 5 minutes. And I did, and that person, I won't say the name, the person that you think is blocked isn't. Because actually, when we came back some months ago now, I unblocked everyone. I unblocked everyone because it's in the chat box and doesn't really affect me anymore, okay? Well, it doesn't, not so much me, but the whole show in whole doesn't affect me anymore because I'm not in the chat blocks. You know, obviously, if someone's really nasty, there's a few moderators in there and they keep an eye on that, and you will be blocked if you're just nasty to people. But that, so we did a complete unblocking of everyone that was ever blocked a little while ago, all right? And as far as I know, there isn't anyone blocked. There are a couple that can't send a text through to me. I can do it that way, but they can still go in the chat box. But going back to the tea break thing, yeah, I'm just not sure about that tea break thing. I think it's a little bit open to abuse, and sometimes, you know, you could gang up on someone and they just keep getting timed out, and then they get upset. And so I understand the fun side of it, but I also understand the person who might get attacked and endless tea breaks might feel a little bit bad for themselves. So no, not for now. All right, my darling. But thanks for your comments there, Gary. As always, Gary sends in little stories and things like that as well, don't you? So thank you very much. Mike says, I'm going to have to watch The Omen tonight. Love it when the raven attacks the woman in the red coat and pecks out her eyes. Yeah, that's my favourite bit. Isn't it awful? Try and watch that with a few little kids in the house. And then go outside where there's pigeons. They won't leave the house. I'm thinking that, what can I do tomorrow to scare the two children? See, I can't really scare them now. They're too old, 8 and 9. When I do something that I think might scare them, they just look at me and throw their eyes up to heaven. Harry likes to, great nephew Harry, who's 8, he likes to point out fashion or pars that I do sometimes, like with the red trainers a couple of years ago. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Actually, I think it was 6 then. I walked into the house and got these new red trainers. Now, a few years ago, as Mark will tell you, red trainers were in. Everyone had this pair of red trainers. Now, me being a bit older, I wait until the mad craze has gone. And then the next year, when we've moved on to something else, all those things became dirt cheap. And I bought this pair of Ralph Lauren trainers, red, for like 30 quid. Happy days. Except I went round to my nephew's house and Harry's there. Hello, Uncle Chris. And he looked down at my feet and he said, he stopped half that. Hello, Uncle. What have you got on? They're very happy to tell you, aren't they, when they don't like something. But yeah, that might be a good thing to watch with them tomorrow morning, The Omen. Or The Exorcist, where that girl's head swings round. No, maybe not. I love it when people get their eyes pecked out, like in The Birds. That happened in The Birds, didn't it? Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. He said the other day, while sat on a bus, this is in Brighton, Mike, going to work, and seagull swooped down and grabbed a lady's hair with its claws. Or did you get a video? You get loads of views for that on YouTube. Also, the big seagulls are like pigeons. They are not afraid if you walk up to them on the footpath. They give you an evil look. They're horrible things. Yeah, I'm not keen on those either. I'm not keen. Gotta say hello. Oh, I know who you are. Hello to Peter from the BP petrol station. Now, Peter is in... I'm not in Bracknell at the moment, Peter. I'm up in Lincolnshire at the moment. You probably know. But Peter works in the BP petrol station. And I have to tell you, I went in there once, I know, some cakes. I was bitterly disappointed the other night, Peter. I went into his petrol station to get a cake. I got in there, I looked over at the freezers, and it was a hot day. What happens on hot days? Not the freezers, the cooling thing. What happens on hot days? Do you know what happens on hot days? Always the same. All the freezers and the fridges go off. They cannot cope with this heat, can they? And I'd gone in there for a nice bit of cheesecake, and all these fridges were off. And Peter was telling me that they lost £10,000 worth of stock that day. 10,000 quid. They literally had to chuck it away. No sandwiches, you know, because they're in the chiller cabinet. That's it. They're in the chiller cabinet, aren't they? No sandwiches, no cream cakes, No, what's my favourite? Cheesecake. Oh, cheesecake. My nephew's wife does a lovely cheesecake. Oh, it's gorgeous. Perhaps there'll be one there for me tomorrow. Don't know. Maybe. But yeah, that's where Peter works, in the BP petrol station, which is just round the back of my mate's house, actually. When I walk to my mate's house, I usually go past there and pop in for a couple of bags of crisps or a cake and go round to my mate's house. He said, just want to say hi before off to work. Nice seeing you last week when I popped in for my cake and you didn't have any. God, can you not have a little fridge in there on standby and just a couple of cakes in there in case I pop in? I'd appreciate that, Peter. Peter from the BP petrol station there. Thank you, Peter. Danny Davis says, I have a big... Oh, dear me, I nearly tripped up then, Danny. Nearly tripped up then. Danny Davis says, I have a big duck outside work on the pond, and we called him Malcolm the dog. Malcolm. Oh, do you know what my sister's going to call her new dog? Merlin. What an excellent name for a dog. Merlin, because she likes, as I do, the TV programme Merlin, which is at the moment on Netflix. Netflix Merlin. Just going back to the dog she's getting, the reason she's bringing one back from Cyprus is because they're so much cheaper, that particular breed of dog, than buying one over here. A Rottweiler here is going to cost you about £2,000, she says. £2,000 for a bleeding dog. You think that's dear? I was talking to my nephew about this last night. French bulldogs. Thousands of pounds they are. French bulldogs to buy over it. Why? Because everyone wants one at the moment. I mean, they're cute dogs, don't get me wrong. But why would you spend thousands of pounds on a dog? And you probably go to Battersea Dog Home and get a rescue dog or a rescue puppy, perhaps, I suppose. I don't know how it works there. Just for a few pounds. Oh, because we like the look of that one. Well, I think you might be buying one for the wrong reason. You see these people with dogs under their arms and in bags, being pushed around in a bloody wheelchair. I mean, I ask you, dear me. Have you seen them? You see them in London. I saw one the other day. I kid you not, I saw one the other day. She was pushing a dog along in this bleeding pram. They have a better life than I do, those dogs. But she feeds it with little spoons and things like that. So it's going to be called Merlin, that dog. I don't know the logistics of bringing a dog home from Cyprus, but it's all legal, you know. Well, I think it is. Maybe she's stuffing it in her case. There's a noise coming from your bag, madam. Oh, no idea what that... Oh, no, it's me. I've got a bit of a cough. Oh, don't say that in airport. You won't get on the plane. Never cough. If you've got a cough or sneeze, don't. You've got to hold it in while you're standing there in that queue. Sorry, no, it wasn't me. No, is that you coughing behind me? Don't cough in an airport. They won't let you on a bloody plane, mate. Priti Patel will be standing. You're not getting on that plane. Huh? Good evening to Amelia Phillips. Hello to you, Amelia. Nice to see you popping up today. Evening to Amelia. On the subject of animals and vets and things like that, vet bills. What's your highest ever vet bill? Eh? If you want to, you can call in about this. Let's just open the lines. Open the lines 1 minute. I forgot to fire that up now. Wait for a moment or two. There it is. That's on. Okay. So there's a phone number open now. 0208 144 3477 is a phone number. Talking about vet bills. Have you ever had a really expensive vet bill? Okay, anything like that. There's a story here in the Mail Online a couple of days ago. £3,000. £3,000. What goes up but never comes down? The traditional answer is age, it says in the Daily Mail, but it also applies to pet insurance premiums. They always rise and never fall. Now, I never had pet insurance. Perhaps foolishly, you might say. I did pay as you go, and I don't think I spent an enormous amount of money over the years, to be honest. Not really. On the other hand, I didn't really have to have any sort of really very serious operations. Only on Katie, my mum's cat, that I lost a couple of years ago. She had a bit of a thyroid problem and they had to remove the thyroid. So they did. So there was the cost of that. Then afterwards, the recovery wasn't so good. So she had to go in I call it cat hospital. cat hospital for a while, just before Christmas a few years ago. Christ almighty. Blasted phone. And I had to go into cat hospital for a while, or she did. And I used to go and visit her. She was in there about 3 days, I think, altogether. Cat hospital. That was all right. Used to go there, poke my finger for I used to open the cage, and she recognised this. I think she appreciated me. She was there in this little cage with a tube in her paw, some food next to her, and a little litter tray. Oh, bless her heart. And I think I spent altogether for the operation, the recovery, and then going to cat hospital for a while. I think it was about 800 quid, which I thought was quite a lot of money. 800 quid. That's probably the highest vet bill I ever had. What about you? You had a high vet bill before? What did you have? A dog, cat, I don't know, fish, budgerigar, parrot? I discovered last night, my nephew told me parrots can live to 70 or 80 years old. Did you know that? I didn't know that. They can outlive you, parrots. Unbelievable, isn't it? Have you had a high vet bill? Tell me about it. 0208 144 3477 on the phone. Or you can text in 07 451 287 337. It says in the Daily Mail, the issue is now relevant to pet insurance premiums to 17 million UK pet-owning homes, more than 3 million of which have been acquired a pet since the pandemic struck in March last year. I suppose it's a way of having a friend, you know, especially if you're on your own. I can confer with that, really, concur with that. Having cats in the house, you might be a bit lonely sometimes, and a cat comes over. It's almost like it knows sometimes and jumps up and wants to be next to you or sleeps with you. You sleep with your pets? Katie used to sleep in the bed. You know, she was so close to my face I could feel her breath. It's wonderful, wonderful. Maybe you sleep with your dogs. I don't know. My sister and Martin, they had 3 dogs at once, all on the bed at the same time. She couldn't move. I know my mate. He has he's got 5. I think it's 5 cats. They all come up and they've all got their spot on the bed. And woe betide one if the other one tries to nick the spot. They start fighting. He gets woken up regularly by the cats fighting. It says in the Daily Mail, age is a factor in the costing of pet insurance because providers increase premiums to reflect the fact that older pets have more health issues. But increases in veterinary costs are another price driver, as is the tendency for most insurance to hike premiums after a claim has been made. Now, it is expensive to go to the vets. It really is. And we all moan, yeah, oh God, that's really expensive. Well, the drugs are expensive. The experienced doctors are expensive. You know, that's where the money's going, I suppose. This lady had to spend £3,000 because her dog ate stones. And you know dogs, they eat everything, don't they? Anyone lost a sock or a remote control? I remember my niece, she had a lovely, lovely dog. Beautiful dog it was. It was a bit scatty, this dog. It's one of those dogs that would run into the house and knock everything over. And she'd taken it out for a walk where I used to chase rabbits and sadly catch them. She took it out for a walk and it started running off and she could see something hanging down from its arse. Anyway, they caught up with it eventually and they pulled it out and it was a sock. Oh, I don't know if she washed it and reused it or not. I really don't. That dog had a problem with its back legs, and sadly they lost that at some point. But this one, £3,000 it cost her. 6-month-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier Frankie needed 68, not 6, 68 pebbles removed from her stomach in May following a walk on Bracklesham Bay Beach in West Sussex with owner Samantha Turner. Now, I've been to Bracklesham Bay. That's where we used to go when we were children. We used to go down Bracklesham Bay at least once a year. And it's a lovely little place. It's never become commercialised at all. There's a post office at the end, which has been there for donkey's years. There's a couple of fish and chip shops. I think there might be a small... Is there no, there's no amusement arcade. I'm sure there isn't. Not at all. And at the end of the road, just before the sea, I think they've got a restaurant there, which wasn't there. I say a restaurant, fish and chip place, you know, sit down fish and chip place, which is at the end. And then there's the beach, which is a pebble beach. There's no sand or anything like that. And we used to love it there. Loved it. Brocklesham Bay. Not this lady. Her dog ate 68 pebbles. She lives near Chichester, which is like the main town of the area down that way. She says it was cold and Frankie was wearing a coat. That's her dog. So I couldn't see her stomach. But she kept lying down on the way home. We just thought she'd overdone it. Yet after returning home and being fed by her husband, the dog spewed up 4 pebbles. Blech. Pebble. Blech. Sorry, don't laugh. It's not funny. Yeah, after on removing her coat, the couple could feel the remaining pebbles in her stomach. Even though it was a Sunday evening, the lady managed to arrange an immediate vet's appointment. Oh, that cost you an arm and a leg. You don't go in there between 9 and 5. All these extra charges come on. Oh, it's a Sunday. Oh, it's lunchtime. Oh, it's a bank holiday. Oh, it's an extra £500, please. On removing her coat, the couple could feel the remaining ones in her stomach. Samantha managed to arrange an immediate vet's appointment, and following an X-ray, emergency surgery was performed. Given the treatment took place out of hours, the bill came to £3,000. Oh, wow. You feel that, wouldn't you? £3,000, but fortunately Samantha had insurance with Pet Plan, the lifetime policy, which costs £38 and £36 a month, had a £7,000 annual vet fees limit, and so covered the entire bill minus a £100 excess. Samantha is so pleased she had the cover. Her view is a blunt one: if you can't afford insurance, you should have a pet, and she's got a point. Unless you're happy to do the pay-as-you-go. You might be lucky. You might have a pet that's never ill. Or at least seriously ill. Of course, you still have to pay worming tablets, flea stuff. You don't want fleas. Now and again, you'll have to go to the vets, maybe, to have, I don't know, a tick removed. One of my cats, she got a grass thing stuck in her eye. What's that sticking in it? It's a piece of grass. You know the long bit, spiky bit with like a seed on the end? It was in her eye. Took her to the vets, you know. This is in Wandsworth for when I had my cat, Tiny the cat. She was lovely. Tortoise shell. Beautiful cat. Bit miserable. She was lovely. She was lovely, you know. Had that done. It says the result is many are experiencing annual premium increases of more than 10%. While the cover they have is also gradually reducing. You know, the initial proportion of the claim they pay themselves, known as the excess, has now crept up to £100 or £125, while once pets reach their age of 8, most policyholders will also have to pay a proportion of each claim, often 20%. So it's an expensive thing. Even the insurance is expensive. I mean, what do you have pet insurance? What are you paying as a matter of interest? Anything at all? Evening to Chris Cross. A very good evening to Chris Cross joining us. DJ Chris is in the house. Evening to you, Chris. Thanks very much. Vera says, I've got 2 baby pigeons. No vet bills involved. I hope they fly away soon. She says they're not actually hers. She just watches them, don't you, my love? She's got baby pigeons on her balcony, Vera, in London. How beautiful. Andy, my sister-in-law had to take her dog to the vets today as their dog keeps biting her paws. She was in the vet's 10 minutes, cost her 85 quid for a 10-minute consultation. It's so dear. It's so dear. The most expensive vet bills I've heard of was my mate with his cat, Vuitton the cat. Lovely ginger tomboy he is. He had a brain tumour. And, the vet said they couldn't do anything anyway. They weren't going to let it go. Him and his other half, he's not with him anymore. But they found there's an animal hospital around the M25 somewhere, I think near Watford. Took it down there. And they said, yeah, there's a brain tumour on here. We can operate. It's a bit dodgy. It might work, it might not. Anyway, they removed the brain tumour. This is a couple of years ago, and the cat wasn't quite the same after the removal of a bit of his brain. But nevertheless, it survived, and He communicates in a funny way. This cat. He does quite a lot of hissing. You know, he doesn't hiss at me. I don't know why he hisses at me. My mate picks him up and cuddles him, and he hisses a bit. Sometimes lashes out at me. I don't think he wants to be cuddled, to be honest. I take a different approach to animals. Usually, I will approach them very slowly, whether it's a cat or a dog, and put my hand out, which is not always a good idea if the dog's barking its head off, you know. But certainly with a cat, and I'll watch the cat's face. Certainly one of my, as I say, Veet on the cat, and it's never really hissed at me or attacked me. In fact, it now comes to me. I'll make myself known to it. It'll be sitting perhaps at the top of the stairs, and I'll go up and sit just in front of it and introduce myself again. It might have dementia, I don't know. You know how it is. You'd say, find out someone's name, a moment later they've forgotten you again. You know, I'll introduce myself again, almost like a new person every time. And he comes over and he rubs his face against my hand, and he's a lovely cat. Unfortunately, the cancer has come back now, and it's a matter of time. Might be a couple of years, might be a week. It just depends how quickly these things grow. They said they could do the operation again, but it would put him through a lot of stress again, and they've decided this time not to do it. They did have cat insurance, but the total vet bill came to something like £8,000 or £9,000. That's the highest one I've heard. £8,000 or £9,000 is an awful lot of money, isn't it, eh? Awful lot of money. But you know what price health? What price is your health there? Oh, we got a super chat in from John Parrish. Thanks very much, John. John has sent a £1 super chat. There's the jingle for you there, John. Thank you very much. How kind that you are enjoying this programme so much you have found it necessary to send me £1. I can keep that. I might even be able to afford new batteries for that clock now. I'll have a go at fixing that later. I hope that's not broken, because that's an expensive clock, that was. I didn't buy it. It was a gift. They are expensive, those clocks. I think it might have come from... What's the shop that sells all like modern... I don't even know if it's there anymore. What's the shop that sells like modern things? It's a chain. There's not loads of them. Habitat. I think it might have come from Habitat. I don't know if it... Does that still exist, Habitat? Used to be a wonderful Habitat in Kingston. Used to love looking round there at all this stuff. Ever go to a Habitat? What about you, John? Do you find much in Habitat for £1 there, do you? Mind you, buy a packet of batteries in Aldi, wouldn't it? £1. Absolutely, yeah. Don't need the Duracell. Thanks very much for that, John. Danny sent pictures of his dog. Thank you, Danny. Let's have a look. There's his dog there. One moment. Someone's trying to call. I think you're ringing the wrong number. Someone's tried to call the text number. I'm afraid that's not the phone number. Top left-hand corner is only for text. It doesn't take calls. Bottom number there, 0208 144 3477 is the phone number for call in. Okay? You must send your number. If it's an unknown call, you won't be able to get through, all right? Because I won't answer it. Here's a picture of Danny's phone. That's a lovely... Sorry, Danny's dog. Let's have a look at his dog. We're very much into pets today, aren't we, my loves? Here we go. There's Danny's dog. Danny's dog. There you go. Danny. Are you all right, Danny? Isn't he lovely? I can see it's well looked after, Danny. I can imagine you're a pet person, aren't you? Is it Steve's dog or both of your dogs? Is it both of your dogs? If you say, well, do you share the dog? I suppose you do. Thank you, Leslie. Can you might be a... Can you let me know on you can either Thursday or Sunday, whichever one, you know, take your choice, darling. I'm here on both of the days there, okay? Vera, let your brother-in-law fix the clock. No, I'm all right with electricals, little electrical things. I'll probably be all right with that, you know, because it's not holding anything up. anything that's holding anything up, disaster. You know, no more nows isn't always the answer, I'm afraid. Thank you. Sherry, you're very lucky, Chris. John won't even give me a penny, let alone a pound. Oh, not surprised at that, Sherry, darling. Not surprised at that at all. Danny Davis is on the phone. Good evening, Danny.
Good evening.
All right, let's just turn you. Give us a count. Count to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4,
That'll do.
5.
Evening, Danny. Lovely picture of your dog there.
I've sent a couple in, so I don't know if you want to show them all.
What's it called?
She's called Karina.
Karina. Let's have a look. You sent a couple of pictures in, have you? Oh, yeah, there's the other
Yeah.
ones. She's laying down there. Oh, what's that strap? That's a bit of a strap there, isn't it? Blimey, that looks like
That's-
someone you'd tie someone up with. Is it something old that you used to use yourself, dear?
No.
I bet you've been tied up a few times, haven't you, Danny? There you go. There's a picture of Danny with his... sorry, Danny's dog. What's its name?
She's called Karina.
Karina the dog. Who chose... Oh, we like the close-up of the face. Hang on a minute. Let's get that one on there as well. Close-up of the face. I've got to say, she's much better looking than you, Danny, I must say. Look at that beautiful tongue there. You could do some serious damage to someone with a tongue like that, couldn't you, eh?
She's a rescue dog.
She's a rescue dog. Good. I'm glad she's a rescue dog. It's very good of you.
She was. I think I've told you the story before. She came from Spain.
España? Hola.
She was. She had babies at a very young age.
Right.
She's only 4, and this rescue based in Romford
Yes.
went out, got her, brought her back, and we just fell in love with her. So,
Lovely.
and now she's here.
That's
But
lovely.
not
What a
massive fat bills.
beautiful dog. Beautiful that. Can I just I've just got to
We
show
don't even-
just going to show another picture to people there, Danny. Charlie Ray has sent in a picture of his little dog as well. Oh, there's a little cutie pie. Hey, Charlie. What's his name? What's your dog's name there? Is it him or her? Hang on, I think there might be two. Oh, there's another one here. They've put beads around. Do you ever dress your dog up?
Oh, yes, we do actually.
No, you don't, do you? He's got beads.
We did something very funny when we first got her.
Yeah.
We got to put a tea towel around her head
Right.
and called her Mother Karina.
Mother Karina. You should have stuck with that name. Charlie Ray's dog is called Bella, is a little girl. So thanks for sending that in, Charlie, there. All right. Yeah, carry on, Danny.
So,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Are you dead?
No, I'm not dead. I'm still here.
Sorry, I thought you died then while we were talking to you.
No. Still
Actually,
alive.
my great niece, Evie, if I ask her, I'll show her a picture of you if you want, and she'll be able to tell you when you're going to die. Apparently, I'm going to be dead by the time she gets to 18, she told me last night.
Yes, I did hear that. at the
Aren't they
start of the
wonderful
show.
children? Coming out with stuff like that, dear. God's sake, man. Carry on.
Do you ever remember that talking about the dog? Yeah. So we dressed her up as put tea towel on her head and call her Mother Karina.
Yeah, I like that. Mother Karina.
That's quite funny. But no, we've only ever been to the vet with her maybe once or twice.
Right.
She come over with a yeast infection in her ear.
Oh, okay.
So we had to just clean it up. They give us this liquid,
Yes.
cleaned it up, over a couple of weeks, and it just cleared up. And she's white as rain, and it didn't bother her then. She was just quite scratching a lot, and yeah. But apart from that, she's full of life.
Was that at the vets? Was it?
Yeah, that was at the vet. I think it came up to about £200 in all.
Wow, it's expensive, isn't it? Don't you think that's a lot of money, or do you not consider that a lot of money?
That was over 2 visits, plus it was a consultation, plus the liquid twice. We had to have the liquid twice. So, but yeah, so if you think about it, the amount of liquid we have, plus the consultations, I think that's quite reasonable.
Okay.
When they start charging thousands for, but you can't put a price on your pet though, really.
No, you can't.
it's
No,
part
you're
of your
quite
family.
right. You're quite right. And she gives you a lot of pleasure, doesn't she?
She does. We take her for walks. We take her on days out. As from the pictures and stuff, she goes a lot everywhere with us.
Mother
Even
Karina.
when we go-
I like the mother. You should have kept that name, Mother Karina. I love it.
But every time we go, to Wales to see my mum and all that.
You
She
could
comes
take
with
her
us.
you could take her to India and get her to do good things for people, just like the actual Mother Teresa. She could become a saint.
Saint Mother Karina. Maybe we should call her that.
I think you should. She's
don't
even got a special. We have All Saints Day, of course. You know, angels, saints, and nations ring. Praised be Jesus. Oh no, that's not the wrong. For all the saints who from their neighbours blessed. Oh, I love that hymn. Very powerful. I'm very loud on the organ with that one, dear. Oh, it must
What
be
time-
Chris playing again.
What I will do is when I get off the phone is I'll get the picture out and I'll send it over email so you can show everybody.
Yes, the one of her dressed up as Mother Karina. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so we take her everywhere, like I said, but we don't even know what breed she is.
Oh, do you not?
No, because to her papers that come over from Spain, she's just known as dog.
I don't know. Let's show people, and perhaps they'd be able to help us with that. There's Charlie's doggy. Where's yours gone now? Picture of the face, with the face or the bit of the body? I think the body picture.
Look,
I'm going to show them the body shot.
yeah.
All right. What do you reckon that is? What sort of breed would you say that is? So could it be a
She's got long
crossbreed like a
legs.
mongrel or what?
Yeah, she's a crossbreed of well, we think she's a whippet because of.
Oh
she's
no,
quite-
that's not a whippet. She's too fat. Whippets are all skinny things, aren't they?
but she's not exactly, huge, is she? She's quite lean.
I wouldn't have said she's a whippet. The nose isn't long enough either. Haven't they got
But
long
she's
noses? No,
but
that's
she's
not.
very tall.
I don't know.
She's a medium-sized dog. She's not a small dog, and she's not,
No.
your Labrador sort of height.
Yeah.
But she is. But she's very. We don't even know. Whippet, there's Dalmatian in there. If you,
Yes.
when you can see when you're quite close. She's got markings under her fur,
Right,
black
right.
spots.
Right.
But we don't know. Not even the vet knows.
Oh well.
Which
Well,
is-
if he
which
don't
is
know,
quite
no
rude.
one's going to know, are they? It doesn't matter, love,
No.
as long as it's alive and it's happy. You look
But
after
yeah,
it.
so we're coming along. We're coming along to the karaoke on Friday.
I'm very much looking forward. Will you be singing? Don't do depressing stuff, darling. We're not having any
I will
depressing.
be
Even DJ Chris, he's promised me that he's not doing depressing stuff anymore.
I
We
won't do a depressing song. I'll
Pardon?
do an upbeat song. I'll do a very upbeat song, I think.
Go on, what's that then?
I haven't decided
Didn't we
yet,
talk
so-
about this the other day? I think we talked about this on a previous show, didn't we? Did you call in about this or something? I don't remember.
No, I think I was texting. But, yeah, because we were going to come a couple of weeks ago, and then
Yeah.
Steve, my other half, wasn't very well.
No, he's got a bad.
Yeah.
He had a bad back. Is that completely recovered now?
Yeah,
Good.
he he goes back to work. I think it was just he pulled something at work.
Yeah.
But Voltarol helped and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
we're going to be, at least it's good to be back on the main floor, I take it. But
Yes,
we'll
we're
see.
on the upstairs. Well, I say the upstairs. It's not upstairs. It's the ground level. Ground level. We were in the basement, but we're on the ground level. And of course, now that we're back up there, no charge. So yeah, that £3 disappears. Not that it was a lot of money, but I still not quite sure why you have to charge to be downstairs. There's just some reason about it, and I don't know what it is.
We'll have to. Me and you will have to do a little video and introduce everybody.
A little video
So
of
everybody
what?
knows who I am. I don't know.
There's a video it's always streamed. Are you talking about the karaoke stream?
Yeah.
We always stream it.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Do pay full attention to what's going on around you, dear.
We'll have to have some pictures as well.
Yes.
Just
Well,
so
thanks
that
for
we can
calling
put
in,
it on
Danny.
our
Very
Facebook.
interesting call today, darling. Thank you for the pictures of
I'll
your
take-
doggy.
I'll send you that picture of Mother Karina for you as well. I'll send it via email.
Please do. Cheerio.
Cheerio. Bye.
Bye. There we are. Danny Davis in Essex there, boys and girls. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in. Now is the time to ask for your raffle ticket, okay? There's the prize. We'll be doing a draw on Thursday's show. You must write down your raffle ticket number, okay? Write down your raffle ticket number. All right, when we're doing the raffle, Write down your number when I give them out. If you would like a raffle ticket, you have 10 minutes to ask for your raffle ticket. Now, on text message 07451 287 337. If you're watching abroad, you may email in, but it's the same for everyone. You've only got 10 minutes to ask for your raffle ticket. Ask now, and I'll give those your numbers out after we finish talking to Daniel Woodhouse, who's on the phone. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Chris.
All right, how are you tonight, mate?
I am very. Oh dear.
Are you
dear,
drunk
'cause
again, dear?
No, I'm very happy.
Are you on the funny tablets, my love?
Yes.
Eh?
Well, because you've just been doing doggy talk there.
Doggy
And
talk?
I had this idea that if Danny Davis ever had a collie dog, would
Yeah.
you call it Wobbles?
Wobbles the collie dog?
Yeah. Maybe the collie
All right, calm down,
Wobbles.
love. Yeah. Collie dog. What you got for us today? Have you got any pets?
I'm afraid not. We've not had any pets here, not since the time about 20 years ago when we looked after cousin Julie's pussycat,
Right.
Daisy.
Daisy
Yeah,
the
at the
cat.
time.
Oh, that's a nice name
Yes.
for a cat, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
a nice name for a cat, Danny.
It was the best cat this family's ever been known to have.
Really? Is it the only
We
cat
knew
you've
how
ever
she
had?
was. Well, I did have a childhood cat, but that ran away.
Oh, right. Well, you
Yes,
weren't
when I
telling
was
it your jokes by any chance, were you, my love?
I couldn't possibly have been. I was in hospital at the time.
Oh, okay.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Is there?
But yeah.
Well, tell
But
us
we
the
knew
joke then,
about
darling.
Daisy-
See if we laugh.
Well, I can't remember it. I don't know what it is. It's there. I can just smell it. I just smell a joke.
Well, there
but I
is that
can't-
smell coming from somewhere. Carry on, dear.
We knew Daisy the cat was that good
Right.
because the moment that she actually, I was asleep one Friday, on the last Friday morning she was with us, and my bedroom door opened.
Is that the
It's
first
tagged.
time your bedroom door's opened if it hasn't been your mother?
Yeah,
Yes, I thought so. Carry on.
and of course the cat has found its own way into my room,
Right.
and it's jumped up on the bed.
Don't tell me.
And
It laid across your face, but it didn't work.
no, it just gave me a lick.
It gave you a lick. What, tongue in your mouth? Oh, well, if that's all you can get,
No,
so
not-
be it,
not
lovely.
No, I think
Sorry?
even Daisy herself had standards.
Right. What, the cat had standards? Well, why is it licking your mouth then?
No, it was licking my face.
Oh,
not
right,
just
okay, yes, yes.
I don't think it wanted to go near the mouth, actually. It was more the face.
No.
Just those little features, just to sort of like say, hello, Daniel. It's been so nice staying with you.
Did it actually speak to you, did it? Or did you sort of imagine it was speaking to you? That's
Yeah,
okay.
I
We've
can
all got
just tell
imaginary
catty-
friends.
I can tell catty talk a mile off, you see.
You can tell cat talk, can you? Okay.
Yeah, I can tell what they're saying, you know.
Right.
And what else has happened while we've been away?
Yes.
I have been trying to do something called the quivering jitters.
The what? I hope this isn't a
quivering
rude
jitters.
thing. I've seen
Oh, no,
videos
it's
of
not.
people quivering at strange times.
Yeah. What I've done is I've asked all our friends of the show,
Yes.
could you think of a question? A
Right.
question that you'd like to ask Chris about, or that you'd like me to ask Chris about certain subjects, you know,
Oh,
about
right, yeah.
anything at all in the world. And we've had
And you
we've had
assumed
some
that
questions.
and you assumed I'd like a feature like that, did you? Without talking to me first?
Well, so let's say it's very quick. It's you know, it's only things like what someone once asked me, what fictitious foreign detective's last case was related in Curtin?
Sorry?
Yeah, I'll try that one again. That don't seem to make sense.
No, it doesn't.
What fictitious foreign detective's last case was related in Curtin?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, apparently it was Hercule Poirot.
Who?
Hercule Poirot.
Try another one.
No, Poirot. Okay. Put that one back in its case.
Yes, good idea.
Well, this is well. I think about it. What were the ray guns called that were used by the crew of Star Trek's Enterprise?
Phasers.
Yes. Can I find that? How did Gerald Seymour become familiar to TV viewers before he became a novelist?
Don't know who he is.
No. Oh, he was a newscaster.
Right.
Who? Gerald Seymour.
Never
Must have
heard
been
of
on
him.
one of them. Yeah, it was funny considering there was only ITV, BBC.
Are these questions sent in by viewers?
I was joking, Chris. I've just had to cull them out the Trivial Pursuit.
Was it like a quiz show we're doing at the moment? Are we doing a quiz show now, are we, my love?
Well, I suppose you could say that. I needed something. There's sometimes, Chris, when I talk to you, I need something to give me a bit of a push.
Well, perhaps a pethadone injection might do quite well.
Well, no,
They're quite nice.
injection.
I've had one of those.
I had my second one yesterday.
What, pethadone injection?
No,
It kind of
no,
works. You're still quite bouncy.
The other one,
What, lethal?
virus. No, virus.
Antivirus injection.
Yeah, COVID.
I mean, there's
Astra.
certain states of America you might want to go to, my love. They do injections there.
Oh, no, I
That'll
couldn't
quieten you down a bit.
I've got a lot to live for, Chris.
Well,
I'm only
watching this
40.
show must be the highlight of your week, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
Of course
apart from
it
the
is.
fact that I've
Don't
just
even
seen...
don't even need to think about it. Of course, this is the highlight of your week.
Yeah, well, apart from the fact that I've just seen my other secret sister.
Have you
And
got
this
a
is why I
secret?
said something nice to you.
You have a secret
said so-
sister.
Yeah, well, we already got one called Penny L,
Oh right.
and the other one's called Adele Dears, you see. And she's just changed her photo on Facebook. And this is why I said something nice about you, you see. I said, oh, Adele, I still think of you when I'm doing something nice like watching the Chris Reardon show or eating toast. So you see, even you get, you get a mention when I'm flirting with my girls.
Right. Talking of girls, is the dating thing happening at all, or how's that
Well,
going?
they had another Zoom meeting on Friday night.
Right. So you date people over Zoom, is that right?
Well, at the moment, yeah. I mean, it's just
Right.
there because I said before they're supposed to be having these luncheons, but because it's like the sort of group that it is, a lot of them are too afraid to come out at the moment, even with restrictions being lifted. So it's likely even on that I might be held back a while anyway.
Right.
But then again, most of them, all they ever do really, I mean, the first thing you go on the Zoom, the first thing they're talking about is their bloody, state. There's a state of themselves, either their ailments or their way of their mind. Or
Excuse you do that? You do that on here?
do I?
Yes, you bleeding do.
Talk
You're
about
always
my
going
ailments?
on about your disability, anxiety attacks, and all that stuff. I can't cope. Always. How can
Well-
you sit there and say that about them when you do exactly the same thing?
Well, I've come to the conclusion, Chris. What is disability after all? It's only just something you've got that puts you off being able to. That means you can't do certain things that you want to do.
Right.
But haven't we all got a bit of that inside us to some degree or other?
What, a bit of
like
madness?
someone both-
You haven't got to tell me
Well,
that.
somebody wrote in a magazine years ago, that they thought we've all got 8 traits of ADHD in us somewhere.
Have we?
Because we've got that, you go to if you're in a job where you've got the board meeting, where there's someone's
Bored?
there boring the arse off you with a flip chart, and you want to sit there, you're going, oh,
like this
this
phone
is
call.
boring.
Sorry?
Mm-mm. And you want to go, oh, this is boring the arse of me, but most people don't say that because they're just too damn nice.
No.
Or somebody like me, would be going there going, oh, please, I want to go, I want to go,
Are
oh,
you,
I want to go.
are you saying that, if you're sort of in a conversation with someone and you're bored, do you think you should tell them then?
I suppose it depends on the situation, really.
Because...
You should try and help them.
No, it doesn't
along, I
matter. Carry
think.
on.
help them along. I think would be if they're not good
Yes.
friends of yours.
Yes.
But I wouldn't. But if it was just some company manager or something, I'd just walk out.
Well, I've walked out of jobs before. Don't worry about that, mate. Just walk out.
I walked. I walked
You
out
do-
of a
and
job
tell them on the way
and-
out, sorry, mate, you're an arsehole, I'm going. Bye. And once you've left, that's it. They have no power over you whatsoever. Nothing.
Yeah. And I walked out of a job once when the manager said to me, "Right, you, Daniel, upstairs
Oh, have
now
you had a
in
job?
front of customers." Yeah, well, this is the sort of job that would put you off wanting to do any other job again.
Oh, what's that then?
It was working for Jessop's, the old camera.
Oh, the
shop
camera
place.
place. That's gone now, isn't it? Was that
Yeah,
Peter
well,
Jones's
there's-
place? Was it Peter Jones's?
yeah. There's
wasn't it?
still supposed to be some that were reopened after that, but this manager in Jessop's Romford was absolutely hell.
Was he?
And so of course I went upstairs. I was there for about what seemed like over 10 minutes, and then I was getting more nervous by the hour. And then I looked over and I saw the back door there. I thought, you've got a choice, Daniel. You can stay here, put up with him, or get out the back door quick. And so of course I did, didn't I?
What, you just left?
I got all the way home to Elm Park, and then he's phoning me. First of all, I didn't pick up the phone, and then eventually, when I did, he's on there. He's actually got, "Oh, Daniel. Oh, please come back, and we'll talk this over," and all that. So in the end, of course, I bloody did. But I thought it did show him right up, though.
Oh, well.
It's,
Well, thank you for your
yeah.
excellent call tonight, Daniel. It's very enthralling, as always. I'm just going to do the raffle tickets now, my darling.
Oh, right. I suppose you might as well put me down for one.
Oh, would you like one, Daniel? Of course you can have a raffle ticket.
Why not?
There you are. Ticket number 82 for you, Daniel.
82.
Ticket number
Right.
Daniel, 82 for Daniel, okay?
Right.
Thanks for the call,
Fine.
Daniel. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye. There we are, Daniel calling in. What is he going on about tonight? Oh, Lord, they just... I don't know if it's me. I do have trouble following Daniel's calls sometimes. Is it me? Is it me? Come on, here's some raffle tickets. Anyone else want a raffle ticket? Ask now. You've only got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to give these ones out. Danny Davis, ticket number 72 in the pot, in the collection pot. Where are we now? Ticket number 73 for Shania. Thank you, Shania. Ticket number 74 for Jason Hughes. Oh, no, hang on. Ticket number 75 for Jason Hughes. Thank you, Jason. Ticket number 74 for Charlie. Now, where's Charlie gone? Just a minute. There he is. Ticket number 74 for you, Charlie. Make sure you write down these numbers, because when we do the draw on Thursday night, it's in Thursday night show at some point, okay? When we do the draw, we only read the numbers out. It's up to you to claim then, okay? So, don't try and claim just for the sake of it, because if you try and claim and it's not your ticket, you are then barred for 4 weeks of part. Yes, I'm sorry. We have to do these things because people take the piss. Oh, I'll just claim in case it's me. Do you know there were people who did that 3 or 4 times? Not anymore, you ain't, mate. How sad is it that I've got to do these things because people take the piss? Huh? And if you lose the ticket, unlucky. If you lose the ticket, just go back on the show and find the bit where I read the raffle tickets out. Oh, I'll just claim maybe it is me. No, it's not. And now you're barred for 4 weeks, okay? Don't claim unless you really think it's you. Write down your numbers, loves, all right? Jason Hughes, did I read your number out there? 1 minute. You're one before the lad, aren't you? 75 for Jason Hughes. 75 for Jason Hughes. 76, Miss Diane Jebb. In the pot in front of me. Thank you, Diane. Sherry Parish, ticket number 77. For lovely Sherry. You're right, darling Sherry. Thank you. Sherry's got her own YouTube channel, incidentally. Do you just want to tell us what it is again, and we'll give that a mention on the show today, Sherry? She does YouTube videos, all sorts of things, cooking. She shows you about buying, pitfalls of buying a caravan, lots of stuff she's got on there. Fran Green, all right, Fran, number 78 for lovely Fran Green. Thank you, Fran. Mike in Brighton, thank you, Mike. Ticket number 79 for young Mike. Rachel Wheatland, ticket number 80 for Rachel Wheatland. There's our Maureen, ticket number 83 for Maureen. Ticket number 83 for Maureen. And she says, Morecambe and Wise, The Lost Tapes, 9 o'clock on ITV tomorrow, if anyone's interested. Maureen often has little tidbits of television stuff that she thinks she'll be interested in. Vera is ticket number 81 for Vera. Ticket number 81 for you, Vera. Thank you. Vera asked for the PayPal, which is why that's up there at the moment. I think she wants to set... Oh, no, I don't want to say that in case you don't. Daniel Woodhouse, there you are. 82 for Daniel Woodhouse. That's Tony King. Hello, Tony. Evening, Tony. Ticket number 84 for Tony King. Thank you, Tony. Ticket number 84 for Tony King. There you go. Who's that at the top there? Someone else. Gary Ross. It's 2 tickets. I haven't forgotten that, Gary. 2 tickets, Gary Ross, 85. Gary Ross, ticket number 85. God, there's a load of raffle tickets here. There you go, Gary Ross, 85. There's Amelia Phillips. Hello, Amelia. Ticket number 86 for you, darling. Okay. So, just a reminder how the raffle tickets work. Obviously, I'm not on the radio tomorrow morning, so there won't be anything happening tomorrow. But you can get a raffle ticket both when the video show is on, as in now, okay? For when I say, anyone want a ticket, that's when you ask. Not before, and not once we've closed it, so to speak, all right? Amelia, ticket number 86. But as well as on the video show, I also give them out now on the radio show as well. So somewhere in my radio show, which isn't on tomorrow, but will be on Thursday, between 9 and 10 in the morning, we do exactly the same as this. I ask, anyone want a raffle ticket? And then you've got about 10 minutes to get your raffle ticket. And then once I've collected all the names, I read out your numbers. Exactly the same as we do it today, but without pictures. Okay? And that's how it all works. All right, my love. Andy's just sent me a little donation. Have you really? Let's have a little look there, Andy. Someone's sending in a couple of tips tonight. We had a couple of tips tonight. Thanks very much for that. Very kind of you. Hang on, so I'll get my super chat noise ready. They used to flash up on here. I don't know why they don't flash up on here anymore automatically without me having to log in, but that's not happening. That might be a notifications thing, do you think? Something like that, maybe? Something like that. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Andy, sending in a super chat tonight. Andrew sending me in the super chat. Thanks very much. And talking of PayPal, thank you, Andy. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Andy. Talking of PayPal and things like that, I'm very pleased to let you know that you remember the problem I had with AV Media a couple of nights ago. I told you AV Media had renewed an antivirus thing that I had, right? Except they didn't tell me. Last year, I paid for it, 20 quid. This year, £118. And I only knew... Now, that flashed up on my screen. Maybe it only stays on there for a second or two. I don't know how that works. Maybe it stays on for a second or two. By the way, that PayPal, when you look at it like that, if you type that into PayPal, you won't find it. You need to type that into the address bar. So that's a whole address rather than something within PayPal. So if you type that into the address bar and click on that, and then a picture of me will come up and what I do, and then you'll know it's me. And then you can send a little tip if you want to, right? If you want to, whatever. And it is appreciated. Yes, £118 flashed up while I was around my nephew's house. No, it wasn't. It was, I think it was Monday. It was Monday, wasn't it? It was Monday. And I told you about it, didn't I? I'm sure I told you about it, didn't I? No, we haven't had a show since then. Or was it Sunday? No, it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And this renewal come up. And so I looked at it. It's bloody renewal. 108, not 20 quid. £118. Not an insignificant amount. And I'm straight on there emailing them. And emails went backwards and forwards for about 2 hours. You know. All the usual old salesman crap. Oh, we were very concerned that you might pick up a virus, so we have renewed it for you. I mean, you know, no way of... And I look on the... No way of unticking a box. If you don't want to be on the auto-renewal, you have to email and request this. What a cheek. Anyway, I'm very pleased to tell you that the whole money was refunded 2 days later. It reappeared, which makes sense because then it was Tuesday. Sort of, what is it today? Tuesday? No, it's Tuesday now, isn't it? Monday. It reappeared on Monday, less than 24 hours after I complained. What a blooming the arrogance of it. These people think they can just dip into your account and take out what they want when they please, isn't it? Outrageous. Anyway, thanks very much for that, Andy. Andy says, I've sent you a PayPal donation to get the film off Amazon. Thanks for everything to Wong Fu with Patrick Swayze in. I really think you'll love it. I tell you what, I will get it. I will get it, but I'll wait till I'm back at home to watch that because that's like a Saturday night thing. Or mind you, Saturday night, someone, Vera actually said Saturday night a place where Kim Mazelle's going to be somewhere. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to be with people. I mean, it's different if you're at work. I'm kind of behind a DJ box, you know, and no, I don't think I want to be with crowds of people at the moment. But thank you very much, Vera, for that. All right. Sherry says her YouTube channel is Sherry DMP. Thank you. I'd forgotten the title of it. Sherry DMP. That's our very own Sherry Parish, who's always with us for the show. She's got her own little YouTube channel. And all sorts of different things on there, which you'll find of interest, okay? And she comes across as a friendly person. Not like me, you know, miserable git. Miserable, sad old man sitting in a little room on his own. Not like me. She is happy and bouncy. Sherry DMP, all one word, and that's on the YouTube. She hasn't uploaded a new video yet because she's busy at the moment. She's got a job now as well. So thanks very much for that. Vera says, I'm having trouble with PayPal. Can't get it to work. We'll try again. Yeah, as I say, type that whole thing into your address bar. That's the thing at the top, you know, where you type in www.youtube. That's where you type that in and it should come up like that. All right, Vera? Danny, can you be a bit more patient, Danny, for Christ's sake, dear? Oh, going on and on about his bloody picture of his bleeding mutt. On and on. I mean, you know, if I ask you for a request on your radio station, I have to wait 24 hours because you're not even live. God blimey. Oh, on and on. Give it a bleeding rest. Here's a picture for his dog, dressed up as Mother Teresa. I hope the Pope's not watching tonight. Shania would be turning in her bed. I think where's Shania? She disappeared. You still here, Shania? He's only dressed up the dog as Mother Teresa, Shania. Dreadful. That's not going to get me into heaven, will it? Huh? It's going to be a very empty place if we have to rely on my viewers to go into heaven. I'll tell you that now. Here we go. Here's the dog dressed up as a nun. How funny is that? It looks a bit pissed off, to be honest. It don't look very happy, does it, mate? Look. Poor dog. How thin is that dog? You want to give it some of that food you eat, dear. Dear me. Mick Davenport. Hello, Mick. He's emailed in a picture of his dog as well there. There you go. Gizmo, the dog. Thank you, Mick. There you go. There's Mick Davenport's dog there. Gizmo. That's a cute little thing, isn't it? Is that a Jack Russell? Little Jack Russell. Oh, they're lovely, those little Jack Russells. Babe Station Pearl, who lives 4 doors down from me, back down at the house in Bracknell in Berkshire. She's got Scottish Terriers. She's got terriers. One absolutely adores me. The other one goes mad when I see it, when it sees me. It goes mad when it sees me, that dog. Thank you, Leslie, for your email. I'll save on to that for the next day. Gary, have you sent a tip as well tonight, Gary? Gosh, Christ, the money's for... I'll be able to retire if this carries on tonight, won't I? I must send Gary... I better bring it up as well, I suppose, on here. I mean, it takes a little while on the old phone, doesn't it? I suppose I've got all sorts of virus things there. See, it's just doing that now for some reason. It does that sometimes. And I can't get in. Maybe that's the problem we're all having at the moment. Vera's having it as well, aren't you, love? Vera's having a little problem as well. 3112. Yeah, touch ID. Touch. I've got the touch thing set on mine, you know. If anyone robs my phone, I'll have to cut off my thumb as well if they want to get into that. Thank you, Gary. Gary sending in a super chat today. It's 2 super chats today. 3. I'm rich. Rich. Thank you, Gary. Sending in a super chat for you there. Thank you very much, Gary. I've done your ticket, and I, Gary. I'm sure I have. Thank you. Vera says that everyone will be seated. I think. Yeah, but lots of people together, unnecessary risk. You know, obviously, even doing the karaoke, everything is a risk. Everything crossing the road is a risk. But thank you very much for the information there, Vera. Mike in Brighton says, "Hi, Chris. Woo Foo is free on Amazon Prime." Oh, don't tell him that. He'll want a bloody refund, Andy. Are you sure? He says it's $4.99 or whatever. He says it's $4.99. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have a look then. I'll have a look after the program's finished. I knew it. Hey, Danny, you've upset Shania now, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight. She's disgusted by that dog dressed up as the Mother Teresa. What did you call it? Mother Karina? Outrageous. It's terrible. Terrible, Shania. Don't worry, darling. You know, when people like Danny are dead, believe me, you won't be bumping into them. Absolutely. Oh, dear me. Don't even say prayers at night. I bet you don't. Danny, do you say prayers at night? I bet you don't, do you? Mick Davenport's dog is Shih Tzu Yorkshire Terrier Cross. Is that how you say it? Shih Tzu. That's how you say it, isn't it? Let's have another look at Mick Davenport's lovely dog there. 1 minute. Where is it? How old is that one, Mick? Oh, bless. Look. All these lovely pictures of your pets. Thanks ever so much for sending them in. We love our pets, don't we, eh? We do love our pets. Thank you very much for that. Jason Hughes has sent in pictures of his 2 dogs. I think you've sent this before, haven't you? Oh, look, lovely staffy dogs. I think, I'm not 100%. I think my son and my ex-wife, I think they breed staffy dogs. There you go. You know, and my ex-wife, she always used to love animals and dogs and things. We had a lovely dog when I was married. Yeah, it was a lassie dog. What's that called? A lassie, a lassie dog. What are they called? Can't remember what they're called now. Beautiful dog it was. Lady, her name was. I used to take her for long walks. Wasn't married for very long, but in that time we had this dog. Beautiful lady, a lassie dog. What are they? What's a lassie dog? Hang on. Do you remember Lassie? Remember that? Lassie. A border collie. Border collie? No, just a collie. A border collie's black and white, isn't it? No, this thing was like brown and white. Oh, it was beautiful. A lovely dog. It was Lady, her name was. Thank you, a collie, says Rachel. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Andy says, if it's free, treat yourself to some new mints. Well, I'll have to run out of these. If Danny's blooming calls get any longer, I might run out of mints. Oh, dear me. Dear me. We're just going to close that phone line now because it's getting a little bit late, isn't it? Thanks so much, both of you that called. I think George might have tried to call in at some point while we're doing a raffle as well. So thanks very much for your calls tonight, my darlings. We'll take some more calls on Thursday night. Text is still open, though. If you want to send in a text, 07451 287 337, or send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Gary Ross says you can get brown and white collies. Okay, are the border collies are black and white, though, aren't they? Are they like... And then the other collies are like brown and white? I don't know. But she was such a lovely dog. Great big long nose. I used to take her... We lived at a flat in Battersea. He was only there for a few months. And I would take him and I would cross over Battersea Bridge, and I'd walk right along to Chelsea Bridge, walking through part of Chelsea. I was out for a long time, every night. I walked back over that bridge and then went home. She was convinced I was seeing someone because I was out for so long with the dog, but of course I wasn't. I used to walk through Chelsea and went, wow, look at these houses here, and I went back to our council flat in Battersea. She was a lovely dog, though, Lady the dog. All right, let's move on a little bit there. On our poster this morning, it says, or on tonight's show, it says, what's it like under your teenager's bed? They have the most filthy, disgusting beds ever. I don't think I was like that. I don't remember putting stuff under the bed or hiding anything, girls or boys. I don't know what's the worst. Have you got girls and boys? In which case, which bedroom is the worst? I ask you this now. I remember going in my niece's bedroom when she was 13, 14, 15, somewhere around that age. And I'd gone up, I can't remember why we went up there. It was daytime. Gone up there for something. Anyway, I opened the door. And I've told you this before, the entire bed was covered in makeup items. Little mirrors, lipstick, mascara, just bits, all of covered in it. And I'm like, Tracy, where do you sleep? And she said, diagonally amongst it all. So that's hers. And then when I took my nephew on a holiday to Florida, when he was, I think it was nearly 18, so about 17. And we had a little suite in Florida. So you'd go up. We were on the top floor. It was a lovely little apartment. There are videos of this, incidentally, on the internet. If you type in United Kingdom Talk Florida, it might come up. I don't know what you've got. I can't remember the date of it now. 2021, 21, 16. I think 2016, somewhere around that date. But anyway, we had a lovely little suite, and he went up the stairs and opened the door, and there was his room, and then there was a kitchenette, diner, and there was my room on the other side. And went into his room in the morning, ready for breakfast and to go out and do day's activities at Disney and all that business. And he had two beds in his room, two single beds. So I had a big double bed in my room. He had two single beds. One of the beds was just covered in crap. I'm like, what is it? Bits of clothes, things that maybe he's bought and stuff like that. Tube of toothpaste. I said, what's all this stuff? And he said, and he said, oh, it's just my stuff. It was like a bomb had hit it. Jeez, I'm sure my bedroom wasn't like that. I'm sure it wasn't. So if you've got children or had children in the past, maybe a bit older, who had the worst bedrooms, the girls and the boys, and what was it like? There's a story in the Daily Mirror. A parent has gone viral on social media after sharing the horrifying mess she discovered hidden down the side of her teenage son's bed when they moved it away from a wall. Now, this isn't a particular bed, but this is a teenager's bedroom that I found on the internet. Look at the state of that. My bedroom was never like that. I must admit, I don't always put clothes back into the wardrobe. I admit that to you. But it's never as bad. There might be one T-shirt, maybe a pair of shorts or tracksuit bottoms on the floor, and a pair of socks. That's it. My floordrobe. But it never got like that. Has your teenager's bedroom ever like that? Anyway, she shared the horrifying mess she discovered hidden down the side of her teenage son's bed when they moved it away from the wall. Now, I happen to know my younger nephew's bedroom used to be like that. I don't know what it's like now because he's moved his girlfriend in, okay? They've been together for quite some time now, and she's having a baby soon, so maybe it's improved, okay? But I remember my sister telling me how bad his bed was, and she went under the bed. There was stuff with mould growing out of it, take-out stuff. Honestly, it says, it's no secret having children can get pretty messy. Some parents might argue that the worst time for this is when your kids are young, as they might fling food around, decide to colour on the walls with crayons or even lipstick, and are constantly covered in some sort of dirt. That's the smaller people, isn't it? You know what I mean. It says one mum who's likely to be in that camp is Amanda Nyberg from Kentucky in the US. She's a registered dietitian, all this other stuff anyway. She posted all the stuff and she said, when's the last time you cleared under your teenager's bed? She's got a TikTok. In the clip, her drawer drops open as she uncovers the mess, which stretches the entire length of the double bed. On the floor are masses of empty crisp packets, sweet wrappers, used paper plates, carrier bags, broken pens, and empty drinks bottles. I'm now going to show you a picture of what was under her son's bed. Check this out, gang. Look, you're going to die when you see this. Well, you can just about see the bed on this side, the edge of the bed. That's what she pulled out from underneath his bed. God's sake. Shocking, isn't it? A couple of different family members came to check out the mess and all looked equally as shocked. Well, you would. The end of the video shows her son cleaning up down the side of his bed before hoovering away all evidence that it ever existed. And it don't take long. It's only a small area, isn't it? But honestly, the stuff. Thousands of people also commented to share their thoughts. Honestly, thank goodness you don't have bugs or something else from that. I mean, yeah, cockroaches, silverfish. It attracts insects. I'm always, especially in a caravan next to a field, I'm always very, very careful. On a Thursday night, I usually start. After the show, I hoover the entire caravan out properly. You know, taking great care. If there's if there's a grain on the floor, which I might leave at home, I'll make sure I pick it up here. Everything is the bathroom, bleach, kitchen as well. I usually leave the kitchen till Friday when I leave usually. Because insects and things in here, dear, you don't want those in here. Someone wrote, my mum would have literally killed me if my flat was like that. Dreadful. And someone else wrote, still not as bad as I think it would be. I mean, about how bad can it be? What about yours? You ever seen anything like that? It's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Charlie's just sent in another picture of his dog. Oh, it's a different dog. Is this your dog as well, Charlie? Or is that the same one? Charlie sent in a picture of... It's got one of those harnesses on there. But yeah, I'm just trying to think what my other nephew's bedroom was like when he was younger, and I can't remember. I know it used to stink of feet. My nephew had the worst feet ever. And that's come from my sister, because she's got really bad feet as well. And now, as Harry, I don't know. No, I think it's Evie. I think she's got cheesy feet. And oh, there you go. There's another dog there. Thank you, Charlie. All right. Oh, we've had a wonderful time there with your pets and what have you, innit? They're Haley's dogs, are they? Okay, they're Haley's dogs, I see. That's his aunt. Is that your aunt? Yeah, it's your aunt, isn't it? Your mum's sister. Good. Excellent. Let's have a look here. What jobs can we give to crooks? Suggest jobs for crooks. Now, sometimes, certainly in Bracknell, there's a place called Southfield Park, not too far from my house. And when I go and do a bit of litter collecting, sometimes I see a little van. And they're young people. I think young offenders, and they all got like orange jackets on saying community payback or something like that. And they're going out doing bits of gardening and things like that, sort of as part of their crime payback thing. And usually it's I don't see girls doing it. It's usually lads, and they got one or two old blokes with them. You know, making sure they do, and they stop for a fag and all that, and they all do the job, and they're very well behaved, you know, because they know they've got to do this to pay back for the crime. And I'm a great believer in people should be given second chances, maybe third chances. Once you start getting to fourth and fifth, you're thinking, you know, are you wasting your time? But I think most people, I don't know, they might do a little crime. I know of someone older now, but at the time young, and drove without insurance, and he got caught, and a policeman come round and he was crying. Won't say who it was. It's a long time ago. I still know this person, and he never did it again. And the policeman, you know, I can see you're not a bad person and what have you. You know, let's let it not happen again and let him go. You know, so that was cool, and never did it again. Never did it again. It's just one of those things, you know. Sometimes, I suppose, lots of children stole sweets from shops and would never do anything like that again. But the Sun, you might have seen Boris Johnson talking about this. He wants to bring back the stop and search and things like that. Don't know what you think about it. But in the Sun, it reports burglars and thieves will be electronically tagged 24 hours a day to stop them reoffending in an anti-crime blitz. Now, I think the crime thing was one of the big things on their when the latest government were elected to power, weren't they? I've certainly have. I do YouGov surveys. Maybe you do that. You can look them up. You can join them, and you get surveys, and you reply to them on the email. It gives you something to do, really. I always reply to those, and often the subject of crime has come up. You know, what are the top 10 things you want this government to do? And you tick 3 of them or something like that, or put 1, 2, 3, 4 in the order you want, and then they send it to various governments. Look at this stuff, and okay, people want this to happen, so that's what happens. And then you get the people on Twitter, you know, moaning about their civil liberties and all this business, don't you? You know. Well, perhaps you should have filled in a form then, you know. I don't want to fill in a form. Well, there you go then, you know. It's usually the minority that starts screaming and shouting that they don't want these things. If the majority of people want it, then so be it, you know. It says burglars and thieves will be electronically tagged. Boris Johnson is announcing a huge boost to stop and search powers to tackle the deadly knife crime epidemic, which is bad in London. It's terrible. Young people, 20, 19, 15, 13, dead. Awful. Just imagine being the parents of that boy. Doesn't matter what he's done. He's had some sort of row with someone else, gangs or whatever. Dead. Knifed. Terrible. And I said before, I don't know how we got to this thing where children think it's acceptable to pick up a knife and shove it in someone else. Because when we were in the Scouts, we had big knives. Big knives, some of them. I didn't have a big. I had a little pen knife like that, you know. But you used to kill someone with a pen knife. Of course you can. You know. Especially at that age, they haven't got the fat protecting them like I have. I mean, you'd have to put something like 12 inches to get through this now, I think. As you saw from the video earlier. You know. But we all had knives, and some of the boys, 16 years old, 15, 16, 17, they had long sheath knives. We all had them at camp. Would even go through your head to pick that up and shove it in someone because you just had a row. You just hit them. You might have a fight. You wouldn't ever, ever consider picking up a knife. Now they do. It says, while criminals will be put to work cleaning up streets, estates and parks, that's all right there. No problem with that. In a visible push for the public to see justice being done. I'd like to think that some of these, I mean, it must be girls doing it as well, I assume. I don't know. Some of these young people, perhaps, who do the street cleaning, estates and parks, I would like to think to myself that maybe that would get into their head, and they might, after they've paid back for their crime, might want to go out at some point and volunteer to do this sort of thing. You know. Lags convicted of booze-related crimes, which the Home Office says drives 39% of all violent crime, will also be tagged to stop them drinking. And you've only got to go in any pub, you know, near closing time. Someone's a bit pissed, someone upsets someone else, bang, they're fighting. Because they can't contain themselves. Mr. Johnson is hoping to use a week focused, this is the week, on tackling crime, to turn the page and get back in the front foot. What do you think these people should do if they committed an offence of some sort? We're not talking about murder, that's a different thing altogether, you know, but something like stealing, defrauding, maybe not. I mean, sadly, one of the worst things you can do is not pay your blooming TV licence. How is that even right? Announcing a massive crackdown, he said, when I first stood on the steps of Downing Street as PM, I promised to back the police and make sure people are safer, because we cannot level up the country when crime hits the poorest and hardest and draws the most vulnerable into violence. You know, which is fair comment, isn't it? But he wants to tighten up this whole stop and search. I mean, I've not got a problem with that. If I'm walking down, excuse me, sir, can I have a look in your pocket? Yeah, no problem. Why should that bother me? I'm not carrying a knife, not carrying drugs. Not carrying any illegal, I don't know what you would say, illegal things in my pocket. I don't know what you'd class as an illegal thing. Those knuckle duster things, they're illegal, aren't they? Those knuckle duster things, I think. What do you think? What do you think? Vera says, I can't add my new card to the PayPal. Oh, never mind, darling. Don't worry about it, Vera. That's all right, my love. She can't add her new card to the PayPal account. Do you not use your PayPal much then, Vera? I tend to use that for quite a lot of stuff, PayPal. Yeah. Foolishly, the reoccurring thing with AV Media, which I've now stopped. You can go on PayPal and find out what you've set up as a reoccurring thing and turn it off, which I did as soon as I got the refund, you know. Thank you. Paul and Lou. Hello, Paul and Lou. It's our favourite losers. How are you? Hello, Paul and Lou. Paul and Lou says, hi, Chris. My brother has a fish in his bedroom which he didn't clean out for about a year and a half. It was a goldfish from the fair and it absolutely stunk, but somehow it didn't die. God. Perhaps they like dirty water. It's like Gary the cat. Gary the cat, I put a bowl of water for it. Right? No, don't want that. It wants the water that's come out of my water butt and is sitting there at the bottom. That's what it wants, the dirty water. Are they funny cats? You have to be careful with anti-ice, antifreeze, because it's sweet and they like drinking that. Deadly. Paul and Lou says the fish died at about 15 years old. Dear. Oh dear. John sent you our dog pic. Can't see anything from John on the email. There's nothing from John on the email there, Sherry. All right, my love. Let me check social. Promotions. Nope. Let's check spam. No, there's no email there from John, Sherry. Okay, my love. Andy, did you see all those anti-vaxxers in London last weekend? They all need electronically tagged, especially Katie Hopkins. Oh, she's a mouth, isn't she? She got kicked out of Australia, didn't she? And David Icke. Oh, God, David Icke, dear. I mean, he was so good on Grandstand. What happened? The lizard man. There was even an ex-nurse I saw that. Ex-nurse calling NHS staff Nazis. They're just crazy people out there. So many crazy people. And they should be hung because they give the vaccine. I found it disgusting, Chris. So an ex-nurse calling the NHS staff Nazis. God knows they take a lot of crap from people, don't they, NHS staff? They have to deal with these people who go in there drunk, loud-mouthed. You ever been in a hospital and seen someone rushing in and shouting and screaming, I want to see someone now? You know the sort of people I mean. You get it a lot in London. I've seen it in London. Not so much out here in the sticks. Oh, Christ. George has emailed now. Let's have a look. I sent a picture of his old dog. Is it not with you anymore? Black dog, is it? That is a, I don't know what that is. That's a nice little dog. George's dog as well. There we are. George's dog. Little George Bond's old dog. He does look old. It's all grey. Dear old thing, isn't it, eh? Thank you, George. Okay. Let's see if we got that email in from John. There's no email at all here from John, I'm afraid, Sherry. I believe he sent something the other day and it didn't get here either. I wonder if you're sending it to the correct email addresses. No, don't seem to be a problem with anyone else. Check the email there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Don't know why there's nothing coming through from John. All right. Good. That's that there. Just a second, my loves. Right, what else have we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, it's 10:15, isn't it? Late. I should go really now. My friend's on the radio. You should be listening to him by now. I do one more thing. We'll do one more thing there, on the show today, and that is the heat wave. A recent heat wave we've had, which some people were saying we might have something come back in a couple of weeks. Okay, another bit of hot weather. I think we went through quite a long period some years ago where we had crap summers. Year on year and year, they were crap summers. But the hot weather, I remember 76, that was a really hot summer, wasn't it? And we've had a few where we get like periods of very hot weather. And it's quite unbearably hot sometimes, isn't it? You know, certainly in a caravan. believe me, it's cooler outside a caravan than it is inside. It's so hot. But it could get hotter in a few years' time, they reckon, within the next decade. So not that far off. I like to think most of you will still be here. I hope I will be, even though great niece Evie tells me I'm going to die before she's 18. Cow. It says in the Metro, Britain is set to swelter in hotter and longer heat waves than the one this week, with the first 40 degrees centigrade. 40, so that's 108. That's about 120 Fahrenheit. 110, but 112 Fahrenheit. The first 40 degrees stay expected within the next decade, scientists have warned. Now, my niece and my sister, who's over in Cyprus, I don't know if it's been 40 since my sister's been there, but it certainly has when my niece has been there. 40 degrees. That's painful, isn't it? There's no way you could sit in a caravan in something like that, I don't think. You'd cook. Climate modelling has long suggested that a global temperature rise parts of the country are far more likely to record increasingly high temperatures in years to come, which is likely to kill thousands of people. Temperatures in the 40s are also likely to hit water supplies, the economy and transport network as the climate crisis hits the UK. Well, we've already seen roads melting, haven't we, before? That's often on the news when we get a long period of hot weather, and you can see it yourself when you're walking along and you just push your foot and the tar goes down, the tarmac goes down, doesn't it? And you've now created a dent. Don't tell the kids that, for Christ's sake. They'll all be out on pavements putting dents in the road, wouldn't they? If you tell them that, once they realise that, that'd be the latest thing for them to do instead of throwing broken bottles everywhere. Reading University girl there says a heatwave hazards researcher said the recent hot weather was likely to be easily outshone by more intense heat in years to come. Time to start building that swimming pool in your gardens, or at least some sort of tub. A tub. They were in a hot tub the other day. Great nephew Harry and great niece Eve. They love the hot tub. They love it. I said, oh, I can't be going in a hot tub, all that bacteria. And Gary said to me, well, you go in a swimming pool. He's got a point, actually, hasn't he? I can't get my fat arse in there with that lot. Southern England could easily see its first 40 degrees centigrade day within the next 10 years, she told the Sunday Times. Most of our rail network would not be able to run in those sorts of temperatures because all the metal starts moving, doesn't it? It expands. We would see increased pressure on water resources, productivity would be reduced, and it could affect our livestock and our crops. Well, you've only got to see the farms sometimes now, a bit desperate for water, aren't they? The record high for the UK of 38.7 degrees centigrade was recorded in July 2019 in Cambridge, with Northern Ireland's breaking its record this week, according to provisional stats. So there we are. It might get even hotter than it is now, and that is saying something, isn't it, eh? Alrighty. Right, I'm going to disappear now, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show. Thank you very, very much. Can you do a little thumbs up on the likes? The likes underneath the TV screen thing. If you could just hit the thumbs up on your way out, that will be most appreciated. Now, no need to disappear from media type things at the moment. My very dear friend Ross Patzelt is at the moment on the radio now. Give him a listen. He's he's very much like me. He's very friendly. He'll have a little bit of a laugh with you, and you can also call into him and also send him messages. And if you're on there, do send him a message, gang, okay? Because he'd love that. He'd love you to send a message while he's sitting there. He's in a little shed. His studio is a little shed, and he'd love to hear from you there. All right, my darlings. Okay, so I'm not with you tomorrow morning, but I'll be back on the radio on Thursday morning between 9 and 10 o'clock. reachonair.com on Thursday morning. Tomorrow morning, looking after you on the radio is Carl Borrett. Again, friendly chap. You'll enjoy his show. Carl Borrett on the radio tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Next chat show is on Thursday night at 8 o'clock on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm now going to have, I think, I've got no bread left. I've got no roll tonight. However, my nephew did bring me up an angel cake today. I'm very sad to tell you there are only 2 slices left. I can't have those tonight, can I? Maybe that of the pot noodle and the cup of tea. Have a lovely evening. Thanks very much for watching and listening. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Cheers.